The sun filled the square of Star Magic Academy, and the air was filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread and the faint magic smell of lavender. The broomstick drew a silver arc in the air, carrying the freshmen playfully past the bell tower. The bell jingled as if to welcome every new arrival of dreamers. Lin Yuyan clutched her old school bag tightly, her eyes widened, and her heart was churning. We're finally here. Magic Academy. Time magic, gourmet pots and music boxes. This place is simply heaven. I want to be the queen of controlling the hourglass and let time stop for me. She squeezed into the freshman team, and the classmates around her were whispering. Some were showing off that their Pokémon was blowing rainbow bubbles from their shoulders, and some were complaining that the magic ingredients in their luggage always came out and danced by themselves. Yuyan couldn't help but crane her neck and stare at the high platform in front of her. That was the main venue for the opening ceremony. The elders of the college were dressed in star robes and held 3 legendary ancient artifacts in their hands: the golden time hourglass, the flashing music box, and the huge singing gourmet pot. Freshmen, welcome to Star Magic Academy. The voice of the dean of the academy came like thunder, and along with the fireworks magic exploding in the air, colorful stars fell down. Here you will learn the dance of elements, the reversal of time, the charm of music, and the wish for food. Remember, these magics come from ancient cultural relics, but they are extremely dangerous and are absolutely forbidden to touch. The freshmen in the audience responded in unison, but Yuyan felt itchy. Her eyes were firmly fixed on the time hourglass, which was half a meter high. The sand grains were slowly flowing in the glass, emitting a faint blue light, as if whispering temptation. Just touch it, who will notice? The little devil in her heart snickered, taking advantage of everyone's attention being attracted by the fireworks, and sneakily moved towards the edge of the stage. Hey, that stupid girl over there, what are you doing? The arrogant boy next to him, Lu Ting. He seems to be the type of genius, with his broom covered with thunder and lightning runes, frowned and shouted. His voice was filled with disdain, and several followers around him immediately started snickering. Freshmen want to touch forbidden objects? Are you out of your mind? The first rule of the academy. Touch cultural relics and you will be dropped out of school. Yuyan blushed, but she was so naughty, who cares about you? She sprinted up the steps and gently poked the hourglass with her finger. In an instant the sand flows backward. A dazzling blue light burst out from the glass and time seemed to freeze. The surrounding air buzzed like countless clocks turning backwards at the same time. Ah! What the hell? Lu Ting's eyes widened and his voice trembled. His proud face instantly turned pale. His followers opened their mouths wide, and even the Pokémon were so frightened that their bubbles burst. She activated the time hourglass. This crazy girl is going to ruin the opening ceremony. The whole place was in chaos. Freshmen screamed, broomsticks crashed, gourmet pots suddenly boiled, and sprayed out colorful jelly rain. Yuyan's heart beat like a drum. It's over, I'm really going to drop out of school now. But the next second the world went dark and reset. The dazzling morning light shone into the dormitory window again, and the alarm clock dinged. Yuyan sat up suddenly, sweating profusely. Huh? A dream? Was that just a dream? It was too real. The hourglass, the blue light, Lu Ting's stinky face. She rubbed her eyes and smelled the familiar smell of lavender. The magic candles in the dormitory automatically lit up, reflecting the pink bed curtains and the time magic posters plastered on the walls. The door was pushed open with a bang, and a girl with twin tails rushed in, carrying a hot plate with a fragrant aroma, golden magic waffles baked with little dancing stars on the surface. Yuyan, get up. You're going to be late for the opening ceremony. I'm your roommate Su Nuan, a genius in the culinary department. Come, eat my newly invented accelerated waffles. One bite, it will take almost half an hour. Yuyan was stunned. Su Nuan? Yes, there is a photo in the admission brochure. This girl smiles with crooked eyes and always smells sweet of cream and vanilla. Su Nuan, you didn't see the time hourglass yesterday, right? At the opening ceremony, I accidentally. Su Nuan blinked, giggled, and stuffed the muffin into her mouth. Hourglass? That's a forbidden object. Who dares to touch it? Eat it quickly. I'm sure you'll be full of energy. It's super interesting in the academy. The seniors in the time department can make flowers bloom upside down. The music department students can use music to summon fantasy pets, and the cooking department students like me can make small wishes come true in the pot, such as this waffle. I'm sure you won't feel sleepy after eating it. Yuyan took a bite. It was soft and sweet, and she felt refreshed. But my heart skipped a beat. Yesterday. The ceremony hasn't started yet. It's morning. Is it really reset?
Impossible.
She devoured the muffins and rushed out of the dormitory with Su Nuan. On campus, the students were playing on the broomsticks again, and Lu Ting's follower was still complaining. Boss, where was that stupid girl yesterday? Oh no, today. In the square, everything is just like yesterday. The dean's speech sounded, the freshmen cheered, and fireworks exploded. Yuyan's heart was beating wildly as she stared at the time hourglass on the high platform. Impossible. Is this a real cycle? Just as she was about to rush forward, Su Nuan grabbed her and said, Yuyan, you look so bad. The muffins are not to your liking. Come on, I'll make you another sober soup.
No, Su Nuan, listen to me.
Yesterday. No, just now I touched the hourglass and then everything reset. We are trapped in one day. Yuyan danced anxiously, and the classmates passing by looked sideways. One girl covered her mouth and snickered. Is this new kid crazy? Lu? Haha. Just start taking risks in your head at the beginning of school. Lu Ting happened to pass by, and the broom stopped and sneered. Again? I just heard a crazy girl in the dormitory area muttering about time loops. Lin Yuyan, right? I advise you not to embarrass yourself. Time magic is not for rookies like you. His followers burst into laughter, and someone imitated Yuyan's grimace. The sarcasm spread, making her face as hot as boiled shrimp. Su Nuan pulled her awkwardly. Yuyan, ignore them. Lu Ting is a man of great influence and is used to being arrogant. Let's go to the ceremony. Yuyan gritted her teeth. These guys, wait until I break the cycle. Let's see if you still laugh. But during the ceremony, she resisted her impulse and sat under the stage staring at the hourglass. Time passed by and finally the fireworks ended and the crowd dispersed. She sneaked towards the high platform, only to find that the hourglass was protected by a magic barrier. Damn it, what should I do? Suddenly, whispers came from the edge of the square. A boy wearing a hood, Shen Mo, senior in the time department, muttered. The hourglass moved. Someone triggered it. But his figure flashed and disappeared into the crowd. Yuyan shook her head and decided to go back to the dormitory to organize her thoughts. Su Nuan was already busy in the room, and the pot was bubbling. Yuyan, try my memory soup. You can recall forgotten things. Su Nuan, listen carefully this time. Yuyan took a deep breath and started talking about everything from the beginning. Touch, blue light, reset, classmates' repeated behaviors. Su Nuan's eyes widened even more when she heard this, and she even dropped her spoon. Wow! Are you telling the truth? What should we do? Does the academy have anti-circulation magic? I don't know. But the hourglass must be the key. You have to go back and touch it. Yuyan became excited, and the two of them rushed to the square hand in hand. But just as they approached the high platform, the sand in the hourglass flowed backwards again. Blue light burst out, the surrounding air was distorted, and Su Nuan's scream stopped abruptly. Yuyan, this? The world goes dark again and resets. The third time, morning sunshine. Yuyan jumped up from the bed. She had no doubts this time and went straight to the mirror to confirm that there was still an afterimage of blue light on her face. It's true. Infinite loop. Su Nuan, Lu Ting, those ridicules. All repeated. Her heart was churning. Panic, excitement and determination. I, Lin Yuyan, will not admit defeat. How can time magic lovers be defeated by the hourglass? Definitely crack it. She rushed out of the dormitory. Su Nuan's door hadn't been opened yet, and she appeared on time with muffins. Yuyan, good morning. Speed up the waffles.
Su Nuan.
Stop talking nonsense and come with me. This is the third cycle. We have to find the hourglass. Yuyan couldn't help but pull her up. Su Nuan's eyes widened. The muffin fell to the ground, and the stars were still beating. The third time. Yuyan, are you awake? Wait, this waffle. On the way to campus, the classmates' conversations were accurate, and Lu Ting's followers' jeers were replayed like a recording. Yuyan gritted her teeth and rushed across the square. heading straight for the high platform. But the barrier was stronger, the blue light pulsating, refusing to come closer like a living thing. Damn it! How do you get in? Passers-by and freshmen pointed and pointed. Look at that crazy girl making trouble again. Last time she talked about looping, what is she going to do this time? Breaking into the restricted area. Haha. The college is going to arrest her. The taunts came like a tide, making Yuyan clenched her fists. You guys, wait until I play and see who has the last laugh. Now hold your breath and look for clues. Su Nuan caught up with her out of breath, her face flushed. Yuyan, I believe you. There is a detection pot in the cooking magic, which may be able to sense the hourglass. She took out a small pot from her school bag, sprinkled the spices, and colored smoke came out of the pot, pointing directly in the direction of the bell tower. Over there. There are time fluctuations. The two sneaked into the bell tower in the dark, where the pendulum swayed and hummed low. The hourglass is gone, but the wall is covered with ancient runes. Yuyan groped around and said in her heart, is there a hidden legend in the academy? These runes say that the hourglass connects the music box and the pot, and the three pieces can be combined into one to seal. What? Suddenly footsteps. Is Chen Feng so funny than his roommate? No, he is from the music department. He was passing by outside the clock tower with a music box in his arms and humming. La la la, back to school party. Music magic is so exciting. Yuyan's heart moved. Music box. Maybe it's the key. She opened the window and wanted to call him to stop, but she heard. Jingle bell bell. Mysterious music sounded from deep in the bell tower. Melodious but strange, like countless bells colliding in the vortex of time. The air begins to twist with the mixed aroma of lavender and waffles. Su Nuan hugged the pot tightly, her voice trembling. Yuyan, where does this music come from? What is it summoning? Yuyan's eyes widened, blue light seeped out from the cracks in the wall, and her heart beat wildly. It's over, not only the hourglass, but also the music box is awake this time. Is the campus brawl about to begin? The music is getting louder and louder, the pendulum is turning crazily, and the surrounding shadows are lengthening like countless eyes peeping. The music came like a tide, and the air in the bell tower seemed to be tightened by invisible hands. Every collision of the bells was like a needle piercing the eardrum. Mixed with the sweetness of lavender and the burnt aroma of waffle caramel, Yuyan's nasal cavity was blocked. The shadows danced wildly on the wall, stretched out like a group of hungry ghosts reaching out to scratch. The pendulum swings out with a buzzing sound, and the speed is so fast that it blurs into a metal whirlpool, and the wooden floor creaks, as if it is about to collapse at any time. Yuyan! This music. It's drilling into my brain. Su Nuan hugged the small pot tightly, her ponytails trembling wildly, her face as pale as paper, and her voice trembled like a candle in the wind. Her eyes widened, staring at the blue light seeping out from the cracks in the wall. The light twisted into a vortex and swallowed up the surrounding dust. Run! I feel like a monster is about to be summoned. Yuyan's heart was pounding and she screamed inwardly. Damn it, this music box trick. The rune says 3 pieces become 1, and it's ringing now? God, I just want to break the cycle. How do I get bigger and bigger the more I play? She grabbed Su Nuan's wrist, staggered and rushed towards the stairs. Don't panic. Follow me, this is a clue. But escape first and confirm the rules. The two stumbled out of the bell tower, the sound of music following them like a shadow, like countless little bells chasing each other under their feet. In the campus square, the morning class bell has rang. New students filed into the classroom dragging brooms and Pokemon, and the spicy smell of fresh ink and magic herbs floated in the air. The students passing by suddenly lost their pace, someone hummed a ditty, and the Pokemon's bubbles began to float to the rhythm. Hey, did you hear it? This melody. I really want to dance. A chubby boy threw off his school bag, waved his hands around and twisted his buttocks, like a puppet led by strings. His Pokemon giggled and blew rhythmic bubbles that popped into confetti. The girls around were whispering, their eyes blurred. Some were already holding hands and spinning in circles, their skirts were flying, and their laughter mixed with the music became louder and louder. Yuyan dragged Su Nuan and ran wildly, panting. Su Nuan, did you see? The music is affecting people. This is the precursor to chaos in the music box. We need to quickly recreate the hourglass incident, and figure out the scope of the cycle. The first 2 times flashed through her mind, from the morning light in the dormitory to the fireworks at the ceremony, and then to the end everything was reset. A one-day cycle from morning class to dinner? Unless the hourglass is cracked, it will be repeated indefinitely. Su Nuan nodded as if pounding garlic, and the small pot clinked against her legs, making a sound like a protest. Yeah, but I'm late for morning class, and the teacher will deduct points. The first lesson in the cuisine department is basic mixing techniques. I originally wanted to show off my skills. Skipping class. I'm almost dead, why do I care about class? Yuyan glared at her fiercely, her naughty energy turned on, and she snickered inwardly. Hey, the daredevil Lin Yuyan is online. Who told you to laugh at me, a crazy girl? Wait for me to bounce up and crush the whole crowd. They bypassed the square and went straight to the high platform. The hourglass is still there. The blue light pulses more violently. The magic barrier ripples like water, humming, and the sand grains flow back as fast as a snowstorm. The freshmen passing by around were already fascinated by the music. Several boys took off their robes and danced while shouting, "Wow, this rhythm is awesome! Who played the music magic? The school party is ahead of schedule." A girl's broomstick took off automatically. She rode on it and spun around in circles. Sparks erupted from the tail of the broom, which scared the followers and yelled, "Careful! It hit a tree." Lu Ting just happened to fly through the air, his lightning broom crackling, and his proud face twisted into a ball. He tried to steady himself, but his foot slipped and he started to waltz uncontrollably. Damn! What the hell is this melody? My young master's broom. His followers twisted into a ball on the ground. Someone knocked over the bucket, splashing the cold magic spring water, and screamed, "Boss! Help, we are tap dancing. Where is that crazy girl Lin Yuyan? Is she up to something again?" Yuyan heard the taunt and was so angry that her teeth itched, but she had no time to care now and dragged Su Nuan closer to the barrier. "Su Nuan, use your scrying pot. Last time it pointed to the bell tower. This time it's the hourglass." Su Nuan hurriedly squatted down, sprinkled lavender powder and timegrass leaves into the pot, and once it was cooked, the colorful smoke rushed straight into the barrier. Smoke seeped in, blue light flashed, and the barrier cracked open. "Go in." Yuyan rushed forward and poked the hourglass with her finger. In an instant, sand grains surged backwards, blue light exploded like a tsunami, and time froze around them. The music stopped, the dancing students were frozen in funny poses, Lu Ting's broom froze in midair, and his face was permanently frozen in twisted embarrassment. The aroma of burnt butter and bells linger in the air, and the smell of lavender is so strong that it chokes your nose. But in just 3 seconds the world buzzed and reset. The blue light engulfs everything. The 4th time the morning sun was dazzling. Yuyan jumped up from the bed, and the blue afterimage on her face became thicker, as if she had been coated with fluorescent powder. Ah! Confirmed. From waking up in the dormitory to ending the dinner, repeat the same day. Touching the hourglass is the key, but the barrier blocks the way, so you have to find a helper. Her heart was filled with panic. Overwhelming panic, but excitement was burning. The lower you push it, the harder it is to bounce. Those who laugh at me, wait and see. Su Nuan's knock on the door rang on time, and the smell of waffles was fragrant. "Yuyan, good morning. Speed up the waffles." The 4th time. "Su Nuan, let's fight quickly." Yuyan jumped out of bed and pulled her straight to the kitchen area, the holy place for skipping classes. The morning bell had just rang, and the students were still milling about in the square. Your food magic is your trump card. Mixing space-time cuisine might break the barrier. The kitchen is bustling with steam, the pots are humming automatically, and the air is filled with the sweetness and spiciness of bursting cinnamon and the smoothness of fresh cream. Su Nuan's eyes sparkled, and her attributes were fully activated. Look at my moment of cooking genius. The space-time stirring pot is designed to break the time barrier. She grabbed the small pot and threw in the magic space-time mushrooms. The mushrooms twisted into mini vortices when they touched the water, and then added countercurrent sand and bell fruits. The spoon flew around, and colorful vortices emerged from the pot. The aroma was like a dream. Cream mixed with blueberries faintly charged. Yuyan leaned closer to smell it. Her mouth watered and she said in her heart, Wow, this girl Su Nuan looks cute at ordinary times, but at critical moments she is so talented. If I had this skill I would be rich. The students from the culinary department were watching, their eyes changing from confusion to surprise. Su Nuan, what's the recipe? The mushroom umbrellas can dance. Smell it, I want to travel through time and take a bite to fly to the sky. Suddenly the door banged and Chen Feng's funny boy burst in with a music box, sweating profusely and humming a messy tune. Oh, the freshman party is about to be held. I'll borrow the kitchen to add some ingredients. This music box is awesome, it can make the cake sing. As he said this, he put the box on the edge of the table. The lid of the box flashed with gold edges, and there was a faint ringing sound. Su Nuan turned around excitedly. Senior Chen Feng, help pass the icing. Unexpectedly, the pot swirled too violently, and when he flicked it, the spoon flew out, knocking over the music box. Jingle bells. The lid pops open and a crazy melody breaks out. The kitchen was instantly in chaos. The pots were singing in unison, the cake came to life, and they swung their waists and swung their hips to dance the tango. The students' eyes were distracted, and they grabbed rolling pins as their dancing partners and spun around in circles. Whoa! My feet won't work. The music magic is out of control. Who did this? Chen Feng's eyes widened and his mouth opened in an O shape, but the owner of the music box was dumbfounded. My baby! How? Why did you start singing by yourself? Su Nuan, are you a devil? He tried to rush to close the box, but was pulled by the melody and started to slide dance, knocking over a row of spice jars, causing chili powder to fly, making everyone cough. Outside the campus, chaos spread. Students in the square danced uncontrollably as demons. Broomsticks took off collectively, drawing crazy arcs, like a fireworks show out of control. Pokemon blew bubbles and turned into musical balloons, popping into rhythmic rain. Lu Ting's followers were twisting in a knot in the corridor, and someone screamed, "Boss! Save us, this dance is so shameful. It's that crazy girl again? Why is she skipping class to go to the kitchen?" Yuyan's head was buzzing, and the melody was heartbreaking, but she gritted her teeth and recalled the elementary time textbook. Stagnation finger. Concentrate and reverse in 3 seconds. She took a deep breath, the afterimage of blue light flashed, and she pointed her finger at the music box. Time stop. Buzz, a circle of invisible ripples spreads and the kitchen freezes. Chen Feng freezes in his sliding steps. Su Nuan's spoon hangs in the air, and the cake twists midway. The music stopped, the whole school's dance steps froze. Only the fragrance lingered in the air, and the chili powder became still and turned into a red mist. 3 seconds later, the ripples dissipated and everything was restored. But the music box clicked shut and reset, as if it had never been turned on. Chen Feng rubbed his butt and got up, his eyes widened like copper bells. What was that just now? Time magic. Freshman, who are you? How did you do it? The students collapsed on the ground, gasping for air, their eyes changing from panic to admiration. Oh my God, that blue light! Stop the music! Su Nuan's pot and her time magic are so amazing, aren't they? These 2 girls are monsters. Su Nuan was panting and blushing, hugging Yuyan tightly. Yuyan, you are so handsome. Junior magic can control the whole school. She scooped up the time and space food in the pot, golden paste, stars twinkling on the surface, fragrant. Blueberry cream sandwiched with the sweetness of time and space mushrooms. The tip of the tongue was faintly numb with electricity. Eat quickly. Yuyan swallowed it in a big gulp. Warmth rushed through her body, exhaustion was swept away, and her heart was filled with joy. Haha, it's time to play. Who dares to call me a crazy girl after being reckless in return for being awesome? But after swallowing the last mouthful, her heart sank. The cycle is not broken, the hourglass is still pulsing. Tomorrow? No, the tomorrow in this cycle is the morning re-examination. I barely passed the time magic entrance exam the first 2 times. What should I do if I retake the exam endlessly? If I fail the exam, will my college record be ruined forever? The bell rings, the end of morning classes? No, the end of the cycle is near. Su Nuan blinked. Yuyan, let's look for Senior Shen Mo in the next round? Maybe the reset of the music box is a clue. 3 pieces in 1. Blue light flashed faintly, and the edges of the world were distorted. Yuyan clenched her fists. Exam. Come on, retake the exam as many times as you like. Lin Yuyan will definitely get the perfect score. But first, suppress this crisis. Blue light engulfed the kitchen like a tide, and the sweet aroma of colorful pastes of butter still lingered on the tip of her tongue. Yuyan's vision went dark, and a reset buzz penetrated her brain, like countless bells banging inside her skull. The world stretches, twists, and snaps back to where it started. The fifth time. The morning light in the dormitory was dazzling, and the smell of lavender from the bedsheets hit my nose. Yuyan sat up abruptly, the blue light afterimage pulsing more fiercely on her cheeks, like fluorescent tattoos that came to life. This is the fifth time. Damn it, the morning exam. I was stuck on the verge of passing the exam the first 4 times. This time I have to retake the exam indefinitely. If my record fails, who will still believe that I, Lin Yuyan, am a time genius? The inner roar was like fire. Press to the end. Those arrogant seniors and seniors, wait until I play and I will step on your chins. There was a loud knock on the door, and Su Nuan pushed the door open and walked in with her twin ponytails dangling, holding a hot accelerated waffle in her hands. The aroma of caramel filled the whole room, mixed with the sour and sweet blueberries, making the air sticky. Yuyan, good morning. The fifth time? Wow, your face. The blue light looks like special effects makeup. Eat quickly, replenish your magic power, and go straight to the examination room this time. Yuyan swallowed the muffin in 2 mouthfuls, warm currents rushed into her meridians, and runes flashed in her mind. Hourglass, music box, and pot 3 in 1. Yes, there is a small hourglass timing in the examination room. Let's test the connection. Let's go. They rushed out of the dormitory. Their footsteps were like the wind. Freshmen dragged their brooms in the campus square, and the morning class bell jingled urgently, like a life-threatening rhythm. In the time magic introduction examination room, the air is filled with the pungent smell of ink and time grass. The floating hourglass projection on the wall is ticking, and the blackboard runes are twisted into whirlpools. The teacher, a short old man with gray hair, tapped his staff and made a sound like sandpaper grinding against the wall. Today's test: micro-controlled sand flow. Each person has a mini hourglass to reverse the sand grains for 5 seconds, with a full score of 10 seconds. If you fail, retake the exam. The whole class will cycle until everyone passes. Yuyan's heart sank. For the first 4 times, I could go up to 3 seconds and pass the test on the edge. But this cycle, infinite retakes? The old man's eyes are sharp and his records last forever. She grabbed the hourglass and the sand grains flowed down as fine as gold powder, humming and tingling her nerves. Concentrate, point your finger at the stagnation finger, the blue light flashes. The sand grains only go backwards for 2 seconds. Bite. The red light flashed, the hourglass shattered, and the fragments rained down like needles. Lin Yuyan. Smash it again. The teacher frowned and his voice was as sharp as a bell. Are freshmen at this level? Retake the exam. Reset the class. The students snickered. Lu Ting leaned on the back row, with his legs raised proudly, and his lightning broom crackled against the wall. Hibiki. Ha, the crazy girl really deserves her reputation. At the bottom of the time department, the college records are going to be ridiculous, right? His followers burst into laughter, and someone imitated Yuyan's gesture and said coquettishly, "Stagnation finger? Stop your brain." Su Nuan's face bulged with anger, and her ponytails trembled. It's just the first day of school for Yuyan. But she herself was stuck at 4 seconds, the red light flashed, and the classroom buzzed and reset. The air stagnated for a moment, and the lingering fragrance of lavender filled the air. The 6th time. The 7th time. The 8th time. Veins popped up on Yuyan's forehead, beads of sweat oozed out, and the afterimage of blue light burned her skin like fire. Damn it! Why is it stuck for 5 seconds? My nerves can't keep up. Every time she failed, the classmates' taunts escalated. The girls whispered, "The blue light on her face is so disgusting, it looks like ghost makeup." The boys whistled, "Crazy girl, you have retaken the exam for the 10th time? Drop out of school." Lu Ting made a last resort every time. "I reversed in 1 minute and crushed you losers." The teacher shook his head and sighed. Lin Yuyan, her record is bad. She is the worst freshman in the history of the college. Despair pressed like a black tide. Yuyan's fingers trembled, and she screamed in her heart, "No! I want to bounce." The harder you press, the more you will go against heaven. Su Nuan couldn't help it when she took the exam again for the 9th time. She blinked and her dark attribute flashed. Yuyan, I'll help you with food magic. Eat a bite of acceleration assist cake. And double the magic power. She took out a small pot from her sleeves, secretly sprinkled in space-time mushrooms and countercurrent sand, simmered, and the pink biscuits came out of the oven with stars twinkling on the surface, creamy blueberries fragrant in the nose, and the tip of the tongue was faintly electric. Yuyan took a bite and a wave of warmth burst out, and her nerves were as sharp as an electric shock. Stagnation finger. The blue light surged, and the sand grains reversed for 6 seconds. Full marks to the edge. But Su Nuan's pot was too strong, and the ingredients went wild. The space-time mushroom expanded into a giant umbrella. The bell fruit rolled down and jingled. The countercurrent sand filled the examination room. The hourglasses pulsated collectively, and blue light surged like a tsunami. The classroom floor creaked and cracked. Runes danced wildly on the walls, and sand flowed backwards into a blizzard, rolling up books and brooms and flying around. Ah! The food magic is out of control. The students screamed. Someone was swept up by the sandstorm and hit the wall with a loud bang. Lu Ting's broom automatically took off and he fluttered his hands. Su Nuan, you idiot! This young master's hairstyle is ruined. The teacher's staff broke and his face was ashen. The whole class is in danger. The retest is terminated? No, reset. But the hourglass is connected, the whole school. The classroom door slammed open. A hooded figure flashed in, and the air suddenly became cold, like a cold wind frozen in time. Shen Mo, the mysterious senior of the time department, with stern eyes like abyss under his hood, scanned the whole place, and his low voice reverberated like a pendulum. Abnormal. The hourglass connected to the music box fluctuates. This is not something freshmen can do. He tapped his fingers, invisible ripples spread. The sandstorm slowly stopped. The food mushrooms froze in the expansion, and the bell fruit hung in the air and jingled still. The whole class eyes widened and their mouths opened in an O shape. Lu Ting fell from the air, rubbed his butt and got up with a trembling voice. Senior Shen Mo? Why are you here? This blue light is like an hourglass platform. The students gasped, and their eyes turned from panic to fanaticism. Senior pointed the finger at the field. Monster level. Is that an angel under that hood? Save us. Yuyan's heart beat like a drum. The blue light resonated with Shen Mo's ripples, and she was ecstatic in her heart. Master! Finally waiting for you. Senior! I am Lin Yuyan. This is a time loop. The hourglass triggers an infinite repetition in one day. We have to break the barrier. Shen Mo raised his hood slightly. His cold eyes softened for a moment, and caught a glimpse of the blue light on her face. His voice was as soft as a whisper. The afterimage intensified. You have endured 5 cycles and new life is rare. The trick is not to stagnate, but to borrow. Feel the pulsation of the sand, like a heartbeat, and push it forward. He stretched out his hand and pressed the back of Yuyan's hand. The cold magic seeped in, and the mixed fragrance of lavender and thyme grass hit his nostrils. Follow me and join forces to freeze the hourglass in the examination room. Focus and lend me my ripples. Yuyan's fingers trembled as she touched Shen Mo's palm. Warmth flowed into her meridians, and her nerves were like floods. The inner monologue exploded. So handsome. Beneath the cold exterior. This tenderness. My heart will melt. Time to grow, come on. The two of them pointed at the giant examination hourglass in the center. Blue light intertwined with silver waves and buzz. The sand grains flowed backwards for 10 seconds. Full marks. Ripples spread throughout the venue. The rampaging ingredients freeze, the sandstorm dissipates, and the classroom returns to tranquility, leaving only the aftertaste of bells and the lingering fragrance of cream. Bite. Green light flashed all over the field, and the teacher slumped down on the podium, his eyes as wide as copper bells, and his voice trembling like chaff. Full marks. Lin Yuyan and Shen Mo joined forces. Academy record. 12 seconds reversal. First in history. The whole class burst into cheers, thunderous applause, and some people jumped up hug. Sister Yuyan, you are a god. Su Nuan's biscuit plus time spell. An invincible combination. Lu Ting, you were so embarrassed just now you're laughing to death. Lu Ting blushed like a boiled shrimp, gritted his teeth but avoided his eyes. Humph! It's a fluke. Next time I will challenge you. Su Nuan threw herself into Yuyan's arms, rubbed her face with her ponytails and smiled sweetly. Yuyan, you and the senior are a perfect match. So handsome. Come on, celebrate the pot. She spun the small pot and threw in the celebration ingredients. Victory blueberries, gentle cream, and connecting icing sugar. The gulu boiled, the golden soup bubbled, and the aroma was like fireworks. Sweet and spicy mixed with electric anesthesia. The tip of her tongue danced. Welfare time. Complaining about embarrassing things in the exam. Lu Ting hit his butt, haha like a big toad. Yuyan took a big gulp of the soup, warmth flowed into her heart, her fatigue disappeared, and she felt so happy inside. It's playing. Ridicule turned into admiration, and the perfect record was crushed. Lin Yuyan invincible. The students gathered around to grab the soup. Chen Feng broke in at some point holding a music box and giggling. Wow, I heard there was a chaos in the exam room? I'm here to add music to celebrate. The box jingles, perfect for the soup. Blue light surges like a tide, pulling the world into a sticky paste. The residual fragrance of lavender and cream twists into a strange smell on the tip of the nose, buzzing in the ears, and the vision becomes darker and darker. The sixth time. It's not the morning light in the dormitory, but the noisy heat wave in the club square at noon. Colorful flags fluttering, stalls lined up, barbecue magic spraying the aroma of fireworks, mixed with the crackle of sparks from the elemental department and the rhythm of the bells from the music department. Yuyan blinked violently, and the afterimage of blue light danced wildly on her face, like a living snake crawling all over her skin, burning her so hard that she gasped. The sixth time. After crushing the morning class with perfect scores, you jump directly to the club to recruit new members? The hourglass link is accelerating. The link Shen Mo said. The music box is amplifying everything. The heart roared like thunder. Keep it down. Those arrogant seniors in the club. Wait for me to stand up and crush your arrogance. Shen Mo lowered his hood, leaned close to Yuyan's ear, and whispered as softly as silk. The hourglass and the music box have been connected. The next round of club parties will amplify the chaos. Don't do it alone until the three are combined. His breath was clear and crisp, and Yuyan blushed and her heart beat, and she nodded like garlic. Senior, let's get together. The bell rings, the end of morning classes? No, the blue light looms at the end of the cycle and the world twists around its edges. Yuyan clenched her fists. Club party. Let's make some noise. This time with Shen Mo I will kill everyone. But the pulsation of the blue light became more intense. The music box trembled slightly in Chen Feng's hand, and a faint ringtone oozed out. The square was crowded with people, and the freshmen crowded in front of the club booths. The flying club's brooms roared and tried to fly, the element club showed off their skills by spitting fireballs, and the food club's pots bubbled with colorful bubbles. The music club stall was the busiest. Chen Feng's chubby figure was jumping onto the temporary stage holding a music box. The music box had carved gold edges and a faint blue light pulsing on the surface, like a beating heart. Dear freshmen, the Chen Feng Music Club is recruiting new talents. This precious music box, an ancient relic, turns into a disco fantasy in one turn. He giggled and turned the lid of the box. The tinkling bells erupted, and the melody as sweet as syrup filled the square, and his steps involuntarily trembled with the rhythm. Yuyan's heart tightened. Music box. Chen Feng, you are so funny. The blue light resonates and the cycle is amplifying. They squeezed into the crowd of the music club and just stood up, when Lu Ting's Thunder and Lightning Club stall heard taunting thunder. Music club? A bunch of useless people who play bells. I, the young master of the Thunder and Lightning Club, will summon a thunderstorm with a broom and crush you. Lu Ting proudly held up his chest and used the thunder broom. Wrapped in blue and purple electric arcs, making crackling sounds, he crossed his legs and demonstrated the thunder dance step. His steps were like lightning on the ground and lightning flashed everywhere. Passers-by screamed and fled, their eyes admiring. Lu Ting is a genius. The king of the club. That dance step is so cool. And his steps are as fast as a thunder shadow. The freshmen of the music club were green-faced and whispered, "Lu Ting is here to steal the limelight again. Our club is going to be in trouble. Senior Chen Feng, hurry up and perform a counterattack." Chen Feng wiped his sweat, the music box spun faster, the ringtones came like a tsunami, the air in the square was distorted, and the illusion of light and shadow was scattered. Colored lights flickered, the floor turned into a disco mirror ball, and the crowd's footsteps twisted involuntarily. Yuyan's blue light afterimage resonated with the ringtone, and her field of vision stretched. Oops! The link is triggered, and the whole school becomes disco. As expected, the club stalls on the edge of the square were in chaos. The flying club's brooms automatically rotated at the disco, knocking down the stalls. The elemental fireballs waltzed to the rhythm, scorching the flag. The food club's pot grunted and sprayed bubble dance music, and jelly rained down. Ah! My feet won't work. The freshmen screamed, twisted into a ball, bumped their butts, and flew brooms like drunkards. Lu Ting was showing off his thunder dance, and his arrogant face twitched. This magic power of the ringtone? How can my thunder step turn into a girly disco twerk? He lost control of his steps, the thunder broom wrapped around his legs, he kicked his butt in circles, hit himself with an electric arc, his hairstyle exploded into a chicken nest, and he fell into the gourmet pot. His body was covered with sticky jelly, and his nose was filled with the pungent aroma of chili peppers. Help! Who turned off the music box? The whole audience burst into laughter, and someone pointed out, Lu Ting dances with a toad. The genius is embarrassed and bursts into laughter. You were so arrogant just now, and now you are the Toad King, ha ha ha. Su Nuan rushed out from the side, sweating from her twin ponytails, holding a freshly baked community vitality jelly in her hand. Bubbles were rolling on the surface, and the sweet and numb aroma of mango and chili went straight to her forehead, making the air spicy and choking. Yuyan! The blue light is even more fierce, like blue thunder makeup. Take a bite and refresh yourself. This time at the music club, Chen Feng's funny roommate said there will be a music box performance, which is absolutely exciting. She blinked and a sinister smile flashed. By the way, Lu Ting is tricked. His thunder club is next door, and he is as arrogant as a peacock. The veins on Yuyan's forehead were pulsing, the blue light burning was intensifying, and her heart was filled with despair like a black hole. It's crushing me to death. The whole school is having a disco brawl, and the next round of the cycle will get even crazier. We haven't gone to the petting zoo yet. What about the dinner party? Where's Shen Mo? You can't do it alone. She gritted her teeth and rushed to the stage, grabbed Chen Feng's music box, touched it with her fingers, and the sound of the ring went straight into her brain, and her steps almost turned disco. Chen Feng, stop the box. Su Nuan, gourmet binding spell now. Su Nuan nodded. The small pot flew out of his sleeve, and threw in the fixing chili glue. When it was cooked, the red glue sprayed like rain, and the aroma of the spicy glue filled the air, sticking to the soles of everyone's feet. The rhythm slowed down slowly, but the blue light skyrocketed, the music box hummed in resistance, and the fantasy amplified. The square floor cracked and mirror ball fragments flew, the ringtone turned into wild electronic music, passers-by turned into robots and twisted their waists. Lu Ting crawled out of the pot, still jumping in a toad wrapped in jelly. This young master refuses to accept it. This is a conspiracy. The bell tower of the whole school joined in. The disco spread to the edge of the petting zoo, and a faint roar oozed out. The club leaders were livid. The culprit of the music club. The whole school is suspended. Chen Feng, you are finished. The college records are blacklisted. There was a wave of ridicule. The freshmen turned from fanaticism to panic. Blue light ghost girl. Her face is snake-like, so scary. Crazy girl from the time department, messing up the campus again? Quit the club. Su Nuan covered her belly and laughed wildly, her dark eyes flashing. You deserve it. Yuyan, look at him. The ace of the Thunder Club has become a laughing stock. The members of the music club widened their eyes, turning from frustration to ecstasy. Senior Chen Feng performed amazingly. He defeated Lu Ting. The music box is awesome. The club is popular. Chen Feng was dumbfounded, holding the box and spinning around. Oh, it's out of control? But the effect is outstanding. The freshmen are lining up to join the club. The whole place was dead silent. Then there was an explosive reaction. The members of the music club glared like bells and mouths were O-shaped. The blue light is reversed. Is the music box obedient? Goddess Lin Yuyan used the flowing bell to control the whole audience with one move. Lu Ting collapsed on the ground, his jelly hair ticking, and his voice trembled like a sieve. How did you do it? This young master Lei Wu was tricked into a toad, but he solved it handsomely. His charming eyes dodged with hidden admiration. Chen Feng hugged his knees and cried stupidly before turning to ecstasy. Sister Yuyan, my box has come to life, you are the savior. The club is full, and the new generation is worshipping. Passers-by broke away from the wax figure, applauded thunderously, and some people knelt down and licked the jelly. Time plus food combo invincible. I was desperate just now, now I am so happy. Lin Yuyan, associate member of the music club. Su Nuan pounced on her, her ponytails rubbed against Yuyan's face and smiled sweetly. Yuyan is so handsome. That toad jump that tricked Lu Ting is unforgettable. Come on, the welfare pot. She turned the pot around and threw in the party tutsao fruit. The gulu boiled, purple gold soup bubbled, jelly pepper mixed with bell honey. The aroma was like a fireworks party. Sweet and spicy electric anesthesia, tongue carnival. The three of them sat around the stage. Chen Feng took a big gulp of the soup and made a joke. Lu Ting's chicken nest toad, haha, it's like a thunder and lightning roasted chicken. My box is connected to the hourglass. The blue light is so itchy. Su Nuan blinked and said secretly. The Toad King is still staring at us, where is the arrogant charm? He has become a slimy genius. Yuyan drank the soup and laughed. The warm current washed away the blue light and burned her heart. Bounce! Ridicule turned into worship. I controlled the whole school disco. Lin Yuyan was invincible. Shen Mo, thank you for the tip. At the peak of despair, Yuyan's fingers trembled, blue light burned her body like fire, and she screamed in her heart. No! Press to the end, I want to reverse it. Let's borrow some tips. She took a deep breath and felt the music box pulsating like a heartbeat in a grain of sand. She pushed back and said, borrow the bell. The blue light intertwined with the ringtone. Invisible ripples spread, and the illusion was frozen for a moment. The Su Nuan glue took advantage of the situation to stick firmly. The pot sprayed time spicy glue. Red and blue glue rained down. Spicy sesame incense was mixed with blue light electric shock. Everyone's footsteps froze like wax statues. The disco stopped, and only the mirror ball flickered and the lingering fragrance of jelly remained. The square was restored, and club leaders wiped their sweat and gathered around. Music Club Master. Linda's sister Long Guang. In the shadow of the trees in the distance, Shen Mo's hooded figure loomed, gazing with cold eyes, slightly hooking up the corners of his lips, and said silently like the wind. Not bad, new student. The connection is deepening. Be careful in the pet class. Yuyan's heart skipped a beat, and she blushed and glanced. Senior is secretly escorting us. So gentle. The bell rang for the pet class, everyone dispersed, and Yuyan and the other three walked towards the petting zoo. Surrounded by greenery, the park is a talking petting zoo. A fire fox blows flames and frolics, a wind rabbit floats and chases a ball, and a time turtle slowly spits out blue bubbles. In the daily warmth, Su Nuan touched the rabbit's ears and said, it's so cute. Do you want to add pet fur to the next pot? Chen Feng's box trembled slightly. The ringing sound comforts them, perfect match. Yuyan breathed a sigh of relief. It's finally calm. Is the end of the cycle near? The green shade in the garden instantly tore apart. Blue light mixed with bells and electronic sounds penetrated the eardrums like crazy worms, and the sharp buzzing shook the air. The residual fragrance of lavender mixed with the caramel heat wave of the fire fox's flames stung the nose like burnt syrup. The fire fox expanded into a giant disco beast. Its hair flashed neon blue and purple. Its eyes were as red as laser lights, and its mouth opened and sprayed rhythmic flame pillars. Whoosh! The flame tongue swung its waist and hips with the electronic music, swept across the lawn and exploded the mirror ball holes, and the students screamed. The fire fox turned into a nightclub demon. Burn the butt! The wind rabbit drummed into a 10-meter balloon rabbit king. The rabbit ear trumpet exploded with bells and bass, floated and hit the garden wall with a loud bang. The wall shattered like popcorn. Rabbit claws scratched the air, disco scratching. Passing freshmen were caught in the rabbit belly and bounced, and fell to the ground covered with the spicy smell of rabbit fur. The rabbit turned into a balloon monster. They are crushing us. The time turtle is the most terrifying. Its shell pulses with blue light sand patterns, spits out bubbles and reverses the time wave. The grass withers and regenerates and withers. The cycle is like an endless whirlpool. The turtle's feet slowly lengthen the shadow, crushing the flower bed into a black hole of time. The silhouette of the student on the edge is blurred and retreats like a baby crying. Time is upside down. My legs have become shorter, help. The old gardener's face turned pale, his beard was trembling like chaff, and his cane dropped to the ground and sparks were thrown. The pet magic class turned into a doomsday party. The bane of the music club, the blue light ghost girl is back. The students swarmed the garden gate. During the pushing, someone pointed at the afterimage of blue light dancing wildly on Yuyan's face, and taunts poured out like a tide. Lin Yuyan! Enough of the club disco trap. Now the pet is running rampant. It's all because of the snake light on your face. Time-related crazy girl, drop out of school. The college will ruin your hands. Yuyan's heart felt like falling into an ice cave. The blue light burned intensified. Her vision was stretched to a gel, and her legs were as soft as cotton. The seventh crisis is overwhelming. Pet the school-wide carnival beast. The music box ringtone penetrates the bone marrow, the hourglass accelerates, and he is destined to die single-handedly. Crushing me to death, the black hole of despair swallows everything. Shen Mo, save me. Su Nuan's face was pale, her ponytails were sticky with sweat, and she hugged the pot tightly to her chest and trembled. Yuyan, the Rabbit King is going to hit us. My pot is not ready for stirring the soothing soup. Chen Feng backed away while holding the music box, his fat face twisted, and the box buzzed in resistance. The box is itching. The ringtones dance by themselves, and the animal-taming music changes to carnival electronic music. Schoolgirls, I'm in trouble. The giant fox flame laser swept over. The heat wave scorched the tips of Yuyan's hair, and the burning aroma was pungent. They rolled to the ground to dodge. The belly of the Rabbit King's balloon was pressed on top, and the wind pressure roared like a hurricane, and the gardener's shed was smashed down and the fragments flew and jingled. The tentacles of the turtle bubble countercurrent, and the time wave caught Chen Feng's shoelaces. He stepped backward and turned into a child's pace, crying out, "My legs! Box, be obedient!" At the peak of the chaos in the whole garden, the freshmen ran away holding their heads, and the club leaders shouted from a distance. Closed. Pet class cancelled. Blacklisted music club. Despair was like a hammer hitting her heart. Yuyan gritted her teeth and climbed up. The blue light pulsing and the ringtone resonated like a heartbeat. No! Borrow the secret of flow, press down and bounce up. Let the three of them work together to try it first. Chen Feng, music box animal taming song.
Su Nuan, pot comfort soup.
She yelled, her voice drowned out by the roar. Su Nuan nodded, his dark eyes shining firmly. He threw out the small pot, threw in the pet fur and soothing vanilla, boiled the galoo, the pink soup bubbled, the fragrance of cream honey mixed with bell honey filled the air, and was as sweet as dreamy frosting. Soothing rabbit, fox and turtle soup. Squirt! The lid of the pot flew up, and the soup poured down into the garden. The students licked their lips. It smells so good. It's sweet to the heart. But the Beast King didn't buy it. The fox flame evaporated the soup into colorful steam. The Rabbit King inhaled it and expanded even more. The turtle bubble swallowed the soup wave and withered faster. Chen Feng turned the box and blew wildly. The ringtone tried to soften and tame the beast. The jingle was like a cradle, but it was distorted by the blue light into a disco bass. The Beast King followed the rhythm and twerked even more crazily to chase people. Failed. The box rebelled. Chen Feng's fat legs trembled, and his voice shook like a bell in the wind. Suddenly, thunder and lightning roared into the garden gate. Lu Tingley's broom was wrapped with blue and purple arcs. He leapt forward with a proud figure, with chicken coop jelly residue left in his hair. A bunch of losers. This young master is passing by and can't stand it. Thunder and lightning suppress beast's broom. Thunderstorm. He raised his legs to demonstrate, and the electric arc crackled to shoot the fox. He was as handsome as the god of thunder. The new students stared in admiration. Lu Ting, savior. The genius king is here again. but the Fox King's laser rebounded, and the electric arc circled around and hit him all over the head.
Bang!
The broom was out of control and wrapped around his legs. He jumped like a toad again, kicked his butt high and spun around in circles. The head of his head was swollen like a bun, and the jelly residue was spicy.
Ah!
You tricked me again? Blu-ray electronic music. Thunder steps turned into rabbit hops. The whole park burst into laughter, and the students pointed out, "Fuck! The Toad King is back. He's full of geniuses, haha. You were so arrogant just now, but now you're dancing like a toad." Yuyan's heart sank. Lu Ting was reluctant to join, but he was tricked, and the arrogance was about to explode. But now that everyone is here, the bond is established.
Su Nuan laughed darkly. To advance.
Yuyan chants, "Add thunder pepper to the pot." Chen Feng was dumbfounded and turned to ecstasy. "Brother Lu Ting, join the music club. Your bag matches the box perfectly."
Lu Ting blushed.
She arrogantly glared. "Shut up. This young master is just helping me. The blue light girl who refuses to accept. Teach me how to control the situation." Yuyan's heart beat faster, and warmth surged through the blue light. He dodges his eyes. Is his love hidden? Press down to the end and reverse the bond. She took a deep breath, took advantage of the situation to catch the pulse of the music box, and used the flow trick to push the ringtone sand grains backwards. For people borrow the flow. Chen Feng. Animal taming song purification.
Su Nuan, lay sud soup.
Lu Ting, arc protection net. Listen to my orders. Chen Feng nodded and turned the box with trembling hands. The ringtone was suppressed by the borrowed current and turned into a pure flute sound like the jingle of a mountain spring. The air in Fuyuan was soft. Su Nuan sucked thunder peppers and steamed bun hair in the pot, Lu Ting roared, and cooked the thunder rabbit, fox and turtle soothing soup with grunt. The blue-pink thunder and lightning soup boiled, and the aroma of honey, spicy thunder, sweet and sesame exploded, like thunder clouds and candy rain, and the pungent smell of electric honey penetrated the forehead. Lu Ting gritted his teeth and swung the broom, and the electric arc net protected the three of them. The bun's head swayed. "Young master, please bear it. The power grid is up." Yuyan clasped her fingers around the hourglass image, and the blue light flowed backwards into the box. Borrowing beast. Invisible ripples spread, and the 3-in-1 ringtone plus soup rain plus power grid blasted out. The park was filled with blue thunder and pink mist, and the vision was like a dreamy disco. The Beast Kings stiffened their steps. The fox flames turned into cosplay lights and danced slowly. The rabbit balloon deflated into a cute fat rabbit and twerked, and the turtle bubble was flowing and reborn as a flower. The fire fox shrunk, its hair flashed with neon lights, and it stuck out its tongue in a cute way. "Master, the disco is so itchy, let's do the cradle dance." The wind rabbit jumped, and the rabbit ear trumpet played bubble hearts. "The rabbit king is hungry. Give me the soup." The time turtle blinked slowly and the shell pattern was calm. "The time is in order, thank you Miss Blu-ray." The whole school was dead silent for a moment, and then there was an explosion reaction. The students stared with big copper bell eyes, and their mouths trembled in an O shape. 4-person combo magic. The pet cosplay is so cute. The fox, rabbit, tortoise becomes a pet idol. Lin Yuyan borrows the stray beasts to control the whole park. Blue light is no longer scary. It is the savior. Su Nuan is invincible, sweet and thunderous to the point of flying to the soul. Chen Feng is purified. The true king of the music club. The old gardener knelt down, his beard trembling wildly. A great team. Perfect scores in the pet class, a college legend. Lu Ting's head was itchy and red, and the broom fell to the ground. He pouted his lips but avoided admiration with his eyes. "Humph! I owe you the most thanks to my power grid. Next time, don't trick me." He glanced at Yuyan secretly. His cheeks were slightly hot, and his emotions were as faint as electric arcs. Chen Feng hugged the box and spun around wildly, giggling and bursting into tears. "The box is obedient. Sister Yuyan, Brother Lu Ting, the club's foursome? There are so many new recruits." Su Nuan embraced Yuyan, her twin tails rubbed her face, and she blinked slyly. "Super handsome. Toad bun is forever. As a souvenir, come to the welfare dessert." The pot spins around to cook the pet cosplay honey cake. The fox fur, rabbit ear and turtle shell powder is put into the pot. The golden cookies are bubbling, and the spicy and sweet honey overflows, like honey rain at a sunshine party. The three of them plus Lu Ting sat around on the lawn, biting into the cakes, making a crunching sound, reveling in the sweet and numb tongue. The fox, rabbit and turtle licked the crumbs around, making cute comments. The foxfire turned into a light dance so embarrassing. The king rabbit floated too high, he got seasick. The turtle soaked in time, withered and tired. Yuyan bit the cake and laughed, the blue light afterimage faded away. The warm current washed and burned, and her heart exploded like a firework. Bounce! The taunting gardener kneels and licks, the pet cosplays, Lu Ting joins in, and the four of them are locked together. Shen Mo's knack is invincible and he can kill everyone. The tree shadows in the distance swayed, and Shen Mo's hooded figure emerged. His stern eyes were locked, the corners of his lips were slightly hooked, and the silent voice was like a cool breeze blowing in his ears. Yes, a new student. The four of them are connected, perfect. But the connection is deepened hourglass, music box, gourmet pot, 3 ancient suits, combined to seal the cycle. The pot has pulsed with blue bells, and the dinner has triggered the ultimate. Be careful. Yuyan's heart skipped a beat, and she looked back with a blush. Senior. Gentle clue. 3-piece suit. Pot foreshadowing crisis dinner? Su Nuan licked the crumbs of the cake and whispered darkly. The pot is itching, the blue bell is resonating. Are you going to make a scene at the dinner party? The bells rang melodiously, the dinner bell rang throughout the campus. The lantern square dimly lit up, the aroma of barbecue and warm-up music wafted in, and the crowds flocked to the hall. The petting zoo has returned to warmth, with foxes, rabbits, turtles snuggling up to students, and cute cosplays attracting onlookers' admiration. The four of them stood up, and Lu Ting curled his lips and followed. This young master. I am just escorting you. Chen Feng hugged the box excitedly. I'll do the dinner music performance. Su Nuan pulled Yuyan away. The dessert stall will be extended, and the whole place will be upset. Yuyan's blue light trembled slightly, and the fighting spirit burned in her heart. The ultimate chaos at the dinner, 3 things in one? Lower your preparations and reverse the peak. The hall is brightly lit, the faint fragrance of bluebell pot oozes out, and there is an undercurrent of crisis. The lights in the hall poured down like a starry river, and the crystal chandeliers rotated and shed colorful light rain, reflecting the stacked barbecue hills and golden party biscuit towers on the long tables. The bursting aroma of gravy rushed straight into the nose, mixed with the sweet mist of lavender wine, and the air buzzed and throbbed like a prelude to the heartbeat. Students poured in small groups, their velvet dresses rustling, and the sound of laughter covered the faint bells and whispered. Pet Garden Cosplay Legend. Lin Yuyan's 4-person team. The team is invincible. The music club is full of new recruits, Senior Chen Feng's ringtones are purified, and foxes, rabbits and tortoises are sold. Cute licking cake. The freshmen's eyes widened, their mouths slightly opened and trembled, pointing at Yuyan and her group as if they were living legends. Passers-by around them gave way automatically, and adoring whispers came in like a tide. The blue light girl has made a comeback in the whole school. Su Nuan Tangyu has a sweet soul, Lu Ting is so handsome, and the bunhead is cute. Yuyan's footsteps were light, the blue light pulsating on her cheeks like a gentle breath. The warm current washed and burned and faded like morning mist. She bit her lip to suppress the fireworks in her heart. It's so exciting. The 6th cycle of the petting zoo bounces, the gardener kneels and licks, and the whole school worships the bond of 4 people. Senior Shen Mo sent a message, and the 3-piece pot in bell blue pulsated, fixing for the dinner party, taking stock of borrowing tips, improving field control, lowering the charge and killing again. Su Nuan tightened her arms, flung out the honey cake crumbs with her twin ponytails, and her dark eyes flashed with little devil light. Sister Yuyan, the pot is itching and the bluebells are resonating, and the dinner desserts will continue. Look at those new students, their eyes are straight envious of our welfare cakes. She hugged the small pot to her chest, and the wall of the pot had faint blue lines squirming like a living creature, and the spicy fragrance of thunder honey left an electric numbness on her fingertips. Chubby Chen Feng squeezed forward to clear the way, the music box swayed on its head, and the bell played a light tune, which attracted the fans of the club to scream and surround. Senior, we are recruiting new animals to perform the animal taming dance, and the idols of the fox, Rabbit and tortoise will sign autographs. He giggled and turned around, and the box buzzed in response. Haha, the box is obedient. Sister Yuyan, Su Nuan, and brother Lu Ting, the foursome are locked together. The era of the king of the music club. Lu Ting followed. Finally, he curled his lips arrogantly. His head covered with buns and bumps were still red and itchy. The thunder broom was slanted over his shoulder and crackled with electric arcs, sweeping over the passers-by's hair. However, his eyes avoided Yin Yan, and he hummed arrogantly. Humph! I am just an escort bun-headed laughingstock? Next time the power grid will trick you. The freshman snickered and pointed. Toad bun genius. Perfect score for the power grid combo. Lu Ting becomes the fan king. The four of them crowded onto the long VIP table, and the cushioned chairs sank in. The barbecue plate flew out automatically, and the juice dripped and burned her tongue. Yuyan stabbed her with a fork, and the meat was juicy and springy in her mouth. The heat rushed into her throat and she roared in her heart. It's time to fix it. Taking stock of the victory. Borrowing the trick to control the Beast King, Su Nuan, Thunder and Electric Net 3-in-1. Full marks for magical skills. Shen Mo's clues 3 ancient sets. The hourglass funnels blue light into the box and pot. Does the dinner trigger a ceiling crisis? Eat first and improve. Su Nuan threw the pot on the table and simmered the victory honey soup. The pulsation of the blue bells intensified, and the sand pattern bells appeared on the wall of the pot. The wine was poured into the lavender pepper honey cake crumbs, the pink and blue soup was rolling, and the sweet aroma of electric honey exploded like fireworks. He choked and said to his forehead, Drink! 4-person bond upgrade soup. Bluebell field control buff. Chen Feng took a sip, his fat face twisted in electroanesthetic ecstasy. Wow! Tongue disco, box ringtones follow, double purification. Lu Ting Aojiao pushed the cup, but was fascinated by the aroma. He took a sip and his eyes widened. My young master. Try it. The thunder step is steady, and the itchiness of the buns is reduced by half. He protected the soup from spilling with the power of the soup, and the buns on his head slowly subsided. Passers-by stared and whispered. Lu Ting's buns are magical soup. The genius is invincible, and he has become the king of cuteness. Yuyan felt warm in her heart. Sundra's feelings are flashing, and the escort is locked. After taking inventory, improve the borrowing flow. The hourglass blue light lends me the pulse, and merges it into the pot box to preheat and control the dinner party. She lightly pressed the edge of the table with her fingers, and the blue light reflected on the pot. The sound of the bell resonated with the sound of the sand. Invisible ripples spread around the 4 people. The air was as soft as velvet. The passing waiter's plate flew steadily without shaking. The king of aura at the VIP table. Bluebell wave. Calm the nerves at the dinner. Club leaders toasted from afar with trembling voices. Team Lin Yuyan, the legend of the petting zoo. The music club is full, and the new recruits have broken the record. New fans flocked to the table, their eyes sparkling in admiration. Sister Yuyan, can you teach me the secrets of borrowing? Su Nuan soup and rain recipe. Chen Feng's bell dance performance.
Lu Ting signature.
Calm like honey. Yuyan responded with a big laugh, feeling super happy in her heart. The pressure is perfect and the bounce is perfect. The whole school knelt down and licked. The iron triangle of 4 people was bound to increase by 1. The strength buff was fully loaded, and the dinner was a small test. The bell sounded sonorously, the dinner officially opened, the crystal lantern flashed, the music club band played the opening song. The bells mixed with the aroma of the meat. The crowd cheered and danced. The dance steps were as light as a butterfly. Su Nuan blinked. Yuyan, the blue bells in the pot are itching. Can you try the combo preheating? Yuyan nodded, and the 4 of them stood up in tacit understanding. Chen Feng turned the box and the ringtones purified into dance music, jingling like mountain springs caressing the air. Su Nuan threw the pot away and cooked. Dance step honey bubble. Blue and pink bubbles were sprayed, and the students stepped on the bubbles and flew lightly, laughing. Honey bubbles fly into the air, a magical skill. Lu Ting weaves an electric arc net to protect the field. His buns are flattened, and his handsome legs are raised. I control the field. Yuyan joins the flow, blue light ripples expand the hall. The dance steps are in sync and passers-by scream. The 4 people are warming up and are invincible. The dinner party is upgraded. Bluebell Honey Electric Dream. It was as quiet as a dream. The inventory was completed, and the promotion was locked. Just as Yuyan was filled with fighting spirit, she was preparing for the dinner show. The pot suddenly shook. The bluebell sand pattern shines brightly. The grumbling sound is like thunder. The cracks in the pot wall spread. The blue light sand grains and bell fragments spurt out. The crystal lamp hits the ceiling and explodes. Sparks fly. The fragments jingle in the rain. The barbecue plate automatically flies up. The juice is like blood mist in the hall. The pungent caramel thunder and spicy bell electric sound is piercing and buzzing. The pot explodes. The ancient suit is activated, and the blue light of the hourglass pours in. Su Nuan's face turned pale. Her twin tails were trembling with sweat. Yuyan 3 pieces in 1. The ultimate crisis of the dinner. The soup turns into a time and space vortex. The hall was torn apart in an instant, and the dishes flew into a carnival army. The barbecue wings fanned the wind and fire blades. The tables were swept with explosions. The juices were fragrant and the black smoke choked the nose. The party biscuit tower collapsed. The biscuits bounced like a rabbit king chasing people, and the legs were crunched and crunchy. The wine glasses jumped in time and space, and the lavender wine spilled into countercurrent bubbles, and the figures of students appeared blurred backwards, screaming, "Time dance! My skirt turned into children's clothing, my legs are shorter." Food Monster Army, the pot ghosts called Bluebell, the music box rebels. Chen Feng backed away with the box. His fat legs trembled. The box buzzed in resistance. The ringtone is distorted disco. The dance steps are jumping around in time and space. Schoolgirls, they are destroying the whole hall. Students crowded around the door and pushed each other, and the president of the club shouted with a pale face, "Seal the hall. The ancient suit is cursed." The dinner turned into a big fight. Passers-by pointed at the blue light dancing wildly on Yuyan's face again, and taunted, "Lin Yuyan, the fake legend of the petting zoo. Now it is completely destroyed." Blue light crazy girl, the culprit of the 3-piece suit, dropped out and destroyed the college. Yuyan's vision blurred. The blue light burned her heart like fire, and her legs were soft. The 7th crisis is overwhelming. The whole school is in chaos at the dinner. The dishes are space-time and the music army is in a single-person deadlock, crushing the black hole of despair. Shen Mo save. My heart fell into an ice cave, and the hammer of despair hit my head. Suddenly, a violent roar exploded deep in the garden. Boom. The trees are broken, blue light and bells are leaking out, the eyes of the firefox are red, and the flames are shooting like disco lasers. The wind rabbit expands into a balloon and floats wildly, hitting the garden wall with a bang. The time turtle shell pulses, spitting bubbles and countercurrent. The time grass withers and regenerates. Roar out of control. Magic is on the run. The gardener screamed, and the whole school focused their attention. Yuyan's blue light resonated and her heart sank. Why did the pet suddenly lose control of its magic? 3 pieces in 1. The pots are not all connected yet. A big crisis is coming. Su Nuan hugged the pot and trembled. The pot is obedient. The soup won't boil. Lu Ting's broom swept the vegetables with arcs, but was bounced off by the barbecue blade. His head was swollen with new bumps. The toad jumped again, kicking his butt and spinning in circles. Ah, again. Trap Master Ben? Fusion of Bluebell? Leibu time and space chaos. The whole hall burst out laughing. The toad is back. The genius collapses. The fight is doomed. Yuyan gritted her teeth and climbed onto the table, her heart beating wildly as the blue light pulsed in resonance with the bell pot. Taking advantage of the current to suppress the rebound, 5 people together? Lu Ting join in to stabilize the situation. Chen Feng, Chen Ling. Su Nuan mess with the soup. The sound drowned out the roar. Suddenly, the thunder shadow of the garden gate rushed in. Shen Mo's hood leaped forward coldly, the time wave invisible protective net. His lips slightly hooked and his eyes locked, saying, 5 people are borrowing. Ancient suit, listen to me. His fingers were empty, and the sand patterns pushed back the light of the bluebell pot, and there was a new life. Staring and admiring. Senior Shen Mo, the master of time has arrived, and the team of gods is united. Lu Ting gritted his teeth proudly. This young master is a genius to stabilize the field. The grid time and space version. The 5 people circled, Yuyan shouted orders, and her heartbeats synchronized. The vegetable army is flying, the barbecue wings turn into cosplay light dances, the party cookies are fat and cute, and the wine bubbles are flowing and the aroma of wine is reborn. The roasted meat spit out the juice and heartfelt. Master the fire blade is itchy, change the light dance. The cake tower jumped and licked the crumbs. Hungry. Soup for me. Jobu blinked. The time and space are right, thank you blue team. The whole hall was dead silent, and the worshippers exploded. The students' copper bell eyes trembled. 5 gods combo. Chaos. The fight is suspended. Kai Jun is a cute idol. Yuyan took advantage of the chaos and controlled the entire hall. Shen Mo is invincible. Lu Ting is a genius in the power grid. Su Hotpot is flying, and Chen Feng is a pure king. The club president knelt on the table and said with a trembling voice, "Legendary team. Full marks at the dinner. Forever in the history of the academy." Lu Ting's buns were itchy and red, and the broom fell to the ground. The arrogant girl curled her lips and flashed her eyes in admiration. "Humph! Among the 5 of them I am the biggest. Next time, I won't jump on the toad." He secretly glanced at her, his face burning with emotion. Chen Feng held the box and twirled around in tears. "Big group. 5-star club." Su Nuan rubbed Yuyan's face. "Super handsome. The random cake and honey will continue to be served." The Challard Cos honey cake is cooked in a pot, with vegetable crumbs and bell peppers thrown in, and the Gulu Golden Thunder cake pops out, and the sweet fragrance overflows. 5 people plus Shen Mo gathered around the table, biting and having a carnival with crisp electric tongues. The vegetable army gathered around and licked and vomited. Embarrassing with the fire blade. Yuyan bit the cake and laughed. The blue light was warm and refreshing. The peak bounces. From mocking to kneeling, the whole school becomes cute. The 5 of them form a bond of friendship, and Shen Mo goes on a killing spree. Shen Mo's hood was slightly raised, his cold eyes were locked gently, and he whispered like the wind, "Yes, new students. 5 people are perfect. But the 3-piece suit, the hidden legend of the academy. Thousands of years ago, the founder sealed the time and space banquet demon in the hourglass box and pot, and it was touched. The magic banquet is summoned and the campus is forever in chaos. The secret is that the magic banquet requires the hearts of 7 people. Fong Yong Feng. At the end of the 6th cycle, the 7th trigger." Yuyan missed the graduation exam, blushing and trembling. "Legendary secret. The 7 Hearts Demon Banquet? There will be a big crisis tomorrow, lower your energy." The lights in the hall dimmed suddenly. Guizingxia's low voice intensified. A shadow swayed outside the door, black mist seeped in, and the crisis surged like the night before a storm. The lights in the hall suddenly went out like a heart stopping. The black mist seeped in from the crack of the door. The fingers were as sticky and cold as ink touching the skin. The aroma of lavender wine twisted into the smell of moldy earth. The low hum of the pot bells and sands turned into a choked ghost cry in the throat, buzzing in the bone marrow of the ears. The students froze on the spot, their screams stuck in their throats and gasping for air. Their eyes reflected the fragments of blue sand in the mist that shone like dying stars. The club president's knees were weak and they knelt down. Their voices trembled like candles in the wind. Black mist. A sign of the awakening of the time and space banquet demon. Illusion of cosplay at the dinner party. The end of the college. The person pointed at the 5-person table and mocked like a poisonous arrow. Lin Yuyan is the culprit of the blue light. The 5-person combo is temporarily suppressed. The devil's banquet engulfs the campus. Drop out and get out. The freshman fans dispersed. Their admiring eyes turned to fear and widened. The legend collapsed. The hearts of 7? Who believes in lies? Senior Shen Mo can't save him. Yuyan's throat was dry, and the afterimage of blue light pulsed on her cheeks like a flame of struggle, burning and rekindling her heart like iron vices. Her knuckles turned white as she grasped the edge of the table, and her heart fell into a dark abyss. Dark clouds are overwhelming me. The tide of ridicule surged, and the whole school was hammered with despair. The 5 people were locked in bonds, but the black mist seeped out their souls at the devil's banquet. Shen Mo's legend. 7 people are sealed forever? Where are the fragments and clues? I can't afford to play in a dead end. Su Nuan's little face turned pale and sticky with sweat. Her twin ponytails drooped weakly and she hugged the pot tightly. The cracked sandbell on the pot wall squirmed like a living insect gnawing, and her dark eyes flashed with tears. Sister Yuyan, the pot is crying, the black mist is sucking the juice, and the cause honey cake has failed in the fight. The sweet welfare has become doomsday. Chen Feng's fat hands trembled and held the box, and the ringtone was distorted and low like a breathless breath. The box is an ancestral rebellion. The bell's pure dream is shattered, and a big ball of tears flies into the black hole. The electric arc of Lu Ting's broom was dim and crackling, and the buns all over his head were swollen and itchy like ant bites. He curled his lips arrogantly, but his lips trembled and his eyes locked in a cowardly voice. He roared arrogantly and mocked, "Shut up! This young master's electric grid is suppressing the fog. Buns are not afraid." But the electric arc dissipated when it touched the fog, and his knees were weak. The passers-by burst into laughter and turned to fear. The genius of the toad collapsed again. Black fog swallows thunder. Lu Ting is the king of doom. The eyes in the shadow of Shen Mo's hood were as cold as ice blades, and the invisible ripples on the table slowly seeped through the fog. He stood up, pursed his lips slightly, and said in a low voice like a bell in the fog, "The library. The ancient suit legends are all there. On the eve of the black fog, I sneaked in to get the fragments. One of the 7 is missing, and the Sabbat will graduate and take the swallowing school tomorrow. Follow." His voice persisted through the fog. The freshman glared and trembled slightly. "Senior Shen Mo. The forbidden area in the library, the black mist guardian beast eats people." But the 5 of them stood up in a tacit understanding, and Yuyan gritted her teeth and nodded, her heart beating like a drum in the fog. "Keep it down. Investigate the dead end, and raise the eternal seal." The night engulfs the campus, the low-flying broomsticks hum with suppressed sounds, the black mist fills the stone paths like ghost hands pulling at the corners of clothes, the tree shadows are twisted and the bells and sands are humming and echoing. The distant whine of foxes, rabbits and tortoises is faint in the petting zoo, and the smell of meat and wine bubbles remains in the nasal passages, turning rancid and disgusting. Su Nuan hugged his chest and cried softly. The blue sand crackled and spread into the palms of his hands. The black mist tickled the soul. "The guardian beast of the library. I heard that the 1,000-eyed stone statue swallowed the soul of the scholar." Chen Feng's fat legs trembled, and the box hummed in resistance. "The ancestral box is shaking," Grandpa said, "the music box from the founder. The bell of the ceiling banquet. Don't touch the ritual." The arc of Lu Ting's broom escort was weak. "I will open the way for you." "Bun beat? Humph. Thunder steps in the fog are invincible." Yuyan's blue light pulsed and slowly seeped into the fog. Her heart was cold and desperate. "The 6th tale is black pressure." The whole school was in a state of mockery and turned to fear. The entire team was at a disadvantage and was shaking. The library was close to death and couldn't afford to play 7 people. Shen Mo took the lead, holding the sand patterns in the air with his fingers and pushing back against the mist path. "Follow me with the flow. The language is beautiful, and the blue light is converging on me." The huge door of the library is like an animal's mouth gaping open. The oak wood is decaying and creaking. The black fog is as thick as an ink pool pouring down. The shadows of the bookshelf are shaking like the whispers of ghosts. The dim flames of candles are flickering, reflecting the mottled mold on the covers of ancient books. The air is heavy and the chest is tight and painful, and the rotten smell of paper and ink mixed with the moldy fog makes the throat dry and coughing. The stone statue of the guardian beast suddenly woke up, its thousands of red eyes glaring as wide as the blood moon. Its giant claws slapped the earthquake floor and cracked the floor, and its roar was like the tearing of book pages in thunder. "Intruder! Time and space banquet scroll soul swallowing." The stone claws swept up a dust mist, and the books flew automatically as they passed by. The whip danced, the edge of the paper was sharp and whistling in the air, and the freshmen heard the screams in the distance and dispersed. Beast-watching madness. Black hole in the library. Shen Mo team is completely destroyed. The 5 people shrank in a circle. The blue light of Yuyan burned their hearts. Their legs were weak and their vision was drawn. Beast-watching mania. Kill. Disadvantage and despair. No way to escape. Su Nuan threw the pot with black tearful eyes. Gourmet bait. Brawl costs residual juice. Stone beast is greedy. She simmered the black mist stone bait soup. The pot sucked the mist, sand and bell crumbs. The blue thunder honey curd juice rolled and the stench exploded like shit soup mist, choking the diamond beast's nostrils. The thousand eyes blinked and twisted. Greedy? Swallow. The stone claws licked the pot wildly. The tongue stone scraped the pot, and the mist was slow. Chen Feng's ringtones were made pure by Shen Mo. Ancestral cradle. The stone beast sleeps. The tinkling soft mist is like a hypnotic smoke, and the stone eyes are half closed and the snoring is deafening. Lu Ting used an electric arc to weave a net to protect the pot. I control this, young master. The steamed stuffed bun won't jump. But the stone tail struck him, and the electric arc backfired on his butt, and the electric anesthetic toad jumped 3 times. The passers-by snickered. Lu Ting cheated the king. The Black Mist Library, the toad will last forever. Yuyan warmly complained in her heart. Sundara is cute. Ambiguous arc bond flash. Suppress Shinobu. Shen Mo pushed Shizong back. It's still flowing in. The words are sweet, Lan Hui. She gritted her teeth to absorb the blue light. Shizong flew cutely and licked the pot. Yen sleep. The farce passed easily. The heavy black mist pressed deep into the forbidden volume area. The bookshelf twisted and pulled like a maze. The blue sand bell pattern floating walls squirmed like a pulse. The black mist finger touched the scroll and glowed. The ancient book automatically turned the pages, rustling ghost words. The banquet of time and space. The founder's seal failed. Shen Mo touched the scroll with his finger, and the sand lines merged into his eyes and flashed ancient shadows. Thousands of years ago in the hall, the founder held an hourglass box and a pot. Blue bells, sand and light merged into one. The demonic shadow and black mist swallowed the banquet army into eternal chaos, shouting, 7 hearts are not aligned, and the cycle will last forever. The pages burned into ashes, and the new students screamed in fear. The forbidden scroll self-destructs. The whole team is wiped out. Yuyan's field of vision was covered with black fog, and the blue light burned her soul in despair. The legend is overwhelming. The 3-piece set created the curse, and the ritual triggered me recklessly. The black hole of death. Chen Feng touched the box with his trembling hands, and the bell resonated with the broken pages of the ancient scroll. He had a panicked inner monologue. Grandpa's box. The ancestral music box, the magic sealing bell said don't stir the hourglass, as it will touch the banquet demon. Sister Yuyan's petting zoo accidentally touched it, and the dinner pot exploded into one. My fault. The box buzzed and exploded with fragments of the bell, revealing the mural. A 3-piece set of hourglasses merged into the box pot, and the magic banquet black shadow cracked. Su Nuan sucked on the broken page and grunted. The ancestral connection. Sister Yuyan messed up the ceremony. Guaichi has a premonition of black fog. Lu Ting scratched his buns and glared at Chen Feng arrogantly. What a joke! You tricked this young master Baozi. And the power grid came to the rescue and jumped to protect the page. He swept the fog with arc to protect the page, but touched the wall and was electrocuted, spinning around her but was hot and red. The library has tricked a genius. Su Nuan snickered darkly. Senior Toad, the electric but is ambiguous. Sister Yuyan is dumbfounded. Yuyan's face was red and blue, and her heart was in chaos. Lu Ting is so arrogant and cute. The arc of love jumps and the bond is deep. But the black mist presses on the soul. Where are the fragments? A passerby trembled and whispered. Lu Ting is so cute. In the dark fog, is there an ambiguous rescue in the team? Shen Mo swept the wall coldly, clasped the sand pattern with his hand and pulled out the spell fragments. The gold pages floated with blue bells and sand light pulsating. Eternal sealing curse. The hearts of 7 people are bound to the hourglass box and pot, and the black mist of the evil banquet is reversed. The fragments are incomplete with 3 pieces missing. Yuyan's blue light merged with Shen Mo's claws. Her legs were weak and she gasped. The fragments are broken. Collect all the dead ends, black clouds and hammers and crush them to death. The graduation exam will be tomorrow, and the demon will swallow up the whole school. Su Nuan cooks the fragmented soup in the hot pot, and the blue salsa juice wraps it up and eats it slowly, but when Wu's fingers stretch the edges, the pot cracks and makes a loud noise. Chen Feng purely hypnotized the stone beast to sleep again. Her fat face was filled with tears and sweat. Ancestral responsibility. Where is the missing piece? Lu Ting powered the page protector. His buns were swollen and itchy and shouted, "I can bear it. I can save you from the ambiguous pit." Yuyan blue light borrows thunder. Sundra's eyes flashed at her, and the arc of blue pulsated. The team's disadvantage shrank. The black mist was as thick as a solid body and weighed heavily on the shoulders. The bells and pots hummed and turned into demons, and the laughter buzzed in the ears. The field of vision was narrowed to a pinprick. The rotten stench choked the lungs and coughed up bloodshot blood. Passers-by shouted from a distance, "Black death in the penalty area. Team Shen Mo is buried. The end of the academy." Yuyan's heart was like ice. Suppress the black abyss. Taunt the tide of despair. The fragments are not their full hook. Who among the seven? There is no hope of jumping. Shen Mo's hood was half lifted, his eyes locked on hers tenderly, and he whispered in the mist. Fragment 1, the president of the club knows. 2, the graduation test. 3, the king's heart in the petting zoo. Tomorrow's episode. The borrowed ninja black. The claws of the stone beast were stiff, and the fragments were wrapped in blue bells and electric shields and put into the box, and the buzzing was stopped. But black mist burst into the door. A demonic figure loomed and swallowed the lamp, and the roar echoed. 7 hearts are not in harmony. The cycle is accelerating. The 5 people escaped. The night wind ice blade cut their faces. The pot bell's sand trembled wildly, and Yuyan trembled in her heart. The hook is on top. The fragments are scattered in 3 places. Tomorrow's big exam will be held at a black banquet. I am at a disadvantage and am accumulating strength. Who is the 7th person? The clock told midnight in the distance. The foggy shadows chased after me like a hound panting. The campus lights went out, and black clouds pressed down on the city to destroy it. The night wind pierced the bones like thousands of ice needles, tearing at the corners of clothes and letting out sharp hisses. The black mist panted like a hound chasing its tail. Sticky tentacles stretched from behind. The residual fragrance of lavender twisted into rust and blood and penetrated the nose. The stone paths on the campus were as slippery as the peristalsis of the intestines. The low-flying broomsticks of the 5 people made a suppressed buzz, and the heartbeats hit the eardrums like war drums breaking. The pulsating blue light of Yuyan burned her cheeks like a fire whip. Her legs felt weak under the broom. Her vision was blurred, and her heart fell into an eternal black abyss. The black mist swallows the tail. There are only fragments of clues in the library's death escape. The 6th cycle is overwhelming. The whole school screams doomsday, and the warmth of the 5-person bond is shattered. The 7th cycle? Accelerate the eternal sealing of the curse. You can't afford it. Club president, graduation exams, and petting zoos are all 3 things that have separated our souls. Who will believe that we are against the will of heaven? The shadows of passers-by at the petting zoo trembled. Pointing and whispering turned into horrifying shouts. Team Shen Mo's black mist bait. Buried in the library, the devil's banquet will swallow the school tomorrow, and the legend's corpse will be torn to pieces. Su Nuan's face was pale and sticky with sweat. Her twin ponytails were fluttering and she hugged the pot tightly. The cracks in her palms were as hot as molten lava gnawing at them. The blue sand and bell crumbs in the pot grumbled and turned into demons, giggling and laughing. Sister Yuyan. The black mist licked the pot and tickled the soul. Fragments, the remaining juice of the protective soup has failed. Will the sweet battle cost become an eternal night? Chen Feng's fat legs kicked the broom askew. The music box hummed and twisted like a broken throat, and the golden page temporarily sealed in the bell pulsated. The ancestral box shook. Grandpa's curse. 7. The heart is not in sync. The cycle is accelerating and the feast is being devoured. We are cheating and triggering it. The weak arc of Lu Ting's broom made his butt feel itchy. His buns were swollen and bleeding, and he curled his lips arrogantly but shouted arrogantly. This young master Lei Bu. Cut off the tail. Steamed buns are fooling around. Foggy dogs are gone. But the electric arc dissipated when it touched the fog, and the broom almost fell. He jumped to protect the team, and the passers-by burst into laughter. Toad is a genius fog bait. Lu Ting's love words will last forever, and he will be the laughingstock of the Black Feast. Shen Mo's eyes in the shadow of the hood are as cold as knives. His fingers push back against the sand pattern, and the invisible corrugated net blocks the path of the fog. Borrow the flow. The hourglass pulses and the cycle is reset at midnight. Yuyan blue enters my wave and ends. Yu Yan gritted her teeth and gathered the blue light, burning her heart and pouring into the ripples to burst the blue mist barrier. The foghound hit the net and howled, twisted and dispersed. The phantom of the hourglass at the end of the stone path flickered and reversed, and time shattered like a broken stalactite. The lights of the whole school were turned back on. The bells chirped at midnight and became the cries of birds in the morning. The seventh cycle restarted. The clear and piercing sound of the morning class bell covered up the afterglow of the dark fog. The 5 people fell into the dormitory bed, and the sweat-soaked sheets were as sticky as the lingering mist. Yu Yan suddenly sat up, her face pulsing with the blue light shadow like the beating of her heart. The sunlight in the dormitory shone into the fragrance of lavender and revived it. The broomstick outside the window was buzzing for morning exercises, but there was putrid rust on the tip of her nose, and the inner game was like a knife twisting. The 7th cycle. The black mist is accelerating and descending. There are only clues left in yesterday's deadlock in the library. 3 fragments are scattered on the dead end. The leader of the morning class club knows the first piece. The whole school is ridiculing, and the demon-swallowing omen is the final exam. The 5 of us are at a disadvantage. Are we planning a plan? Who should be sacrificed? Can't afford the eternal seal. Shen Mo's eyes are locked. Lu Ting is arrogant and cute. Su Nuan is sweet. Chen Feng blames himself. Coordinate the reversal, endure the pressure and build up strength. She jumped on the bed and grabbed her robe, and the blue light flashed slightly to summon the team message sand pattern. Morning class gathering. Club leader steals fragments and borrows them simultaneously. The morning lecture hall was filled with people. Elemental fireballs whizzed across the sky. Heat waves hit their faces. The professor's white beard fluttered and shouted spells that shook the table. Students' pet foxes, rabbits and turtles scurried around and whispered in the sand. The freshman fans were already staring in fear. Lin Yuyan's disaster. There was a black fog at yesterday's dinner, recurring rumors and nonsense, the end of the school dropout. The president of the club was as tall as an iron tower and sat in the front row. His brooch pulsated with golden light and contained a fragment. He taunted in a rough voice like thunder. Little girl, 5 people combo? Black mist is suppressing the school. The club king Zhiyong has sealed the secret. Get out. Yu Yan's heart sank into the ice cave, and the blue light burned patiently. The president of the club is mocking the hammer. The broken brooch was guarded, stolen in the morning exam melee, suppressed and suppressed. Su Nuan with a dark belly sneaked closer in the blink of an eye. The pot was boiling club bake cake. The honey blue sandbell fragrance exploded like a dream cake and floated on the club's long nose. Brother Wang Chong, try the brawl cosplay black mist antidote. The club leader's eyes widened with greed, and he gnawed the cake wildly with his giant hands, and the brooch came loose and the gold pages fell. Chen Feng's fat hand bell turned to compose, and the soft hypnotic ringtone was like a mist wrapped around a needle. Lullaby passed down from the ancestors. Shards can help me sleep. The president of the club closed his eyes and snored on the table, and the freshman passers-by stared wide-eyed and trembled. Su Nuan is the king of cake traps. Chen Feng controls the president of the club. Fragments steal the sky. The blue disaster is reversed. Lu Ting swept the electric arc on the top of the lecture hall is calculating the trajectory, and the arrogant whisper is in the sand pattern. My young master's trajectory lock. The bun is tickled and counted in 3 seconds. Yu Yan will take it. The arc micro-push needle Luo Yuyan's palm. The gold leaf bluebell sand light pulsates and heats. Her blue light merges into the temporary seal, and her heart is slightly warmed. The first hand. Suppressing the mockery, he turned to shock. Lu Ting's arrogant electric eyes flashed ambiguously, and the bond gathered strength. But the whole school stared in fear. The reversal was small, and the situation was dead. The professor's fireball caused chaos in the exam, and the fragments almost fell through the cracks of the podium. Yu Yan saved the life with weak legs, and the white legs of her robe were lifted to flash passers-by's laughter. Yu Yan's welfare saves the world. Cute legs with blue light, reversed in the black mist. During the club exchange, the playground buzzed and colorful flags fluttered. The meat-flavored wine-soaking club stall was steaming, and the petting zoo fox and rabbit sold cute bells and cheers, but the aftertaste of the black mist was faintly choking. Yu Yan coordinates the formation of Sha Wenchuan. The second piece is hidden in the exam. exchanged and sneaked into the examination room to steal. Su Nuan fuses the first piece of cake. The Su Nuan pot churns, the blue sand bell golden leaf juice rolls and explodes fragments of fused honey. The aroma is like a honey rain from heaven, and the club students lick their eyes with greed. Genius cuisine. The black mist dissolves the honey, and the divine cake reverses the feast. Chen Feng composed the auxiliary music, and the soft music resonates with the pulsation of the honey. The bells were shining brightly, and passers-by's pets stared wide-eyed and trembled. The fat god of music. The pot and bells merge into one, and the fragments of honey seal the demon. The five-person combo king explodes. Lu Ting weaved an electric arc to protect the honey stall, and Baozi tickled the honey stall and shouted proudly, "I'm on guard. Give you a mouthful of ambiguous honey, Yuyan." Huh! He stuffed his mouth with honey and turned around. Yuyan's face was scalded with blue light, and his heart was beating wildly. Arrogant honey benefits. The arc of love is deep, the pitfalls are cute. The layout is smooth, and there is a dead end in the second examination room. In the morning class examination hall, fireballs rained down and the air was scorching. The phantom of the Sabbath loomed in the graduation exam preview and black mist penetrated. The professor shouted, "Calculate the trajectory of the elements. The wrong one will be swallowed by the black hole." The students' knees were weak and they screamed and choked. Lu Ting's arc trajectory and the sand pattern spread the words to Yen. The second piece of Tibetan teachings, under the professor's robe. The toilet fell for 3 seconds. Yuyan sneaked closer with a blue light, and the professor's robe lifted up the fireball and swept it wildly. She threw the fragments of gold pages under the robe and pulsated, but she stumbled and fell into the toilet pit of the examination room. The sewage splashed on her face and the stench reappeared like black mist. The fragments sank into the excrement juice. Ah! The fragments are in the toilet pit. Su Nuan's black belly flew into the pot to cook the toilet honey rescue soup. The blue sand bell excrement juice rolled and fragrant and the honey rain washed into the pit. The fragments emerged and pulsed clean. Professor Chen Fengling's hypnosis turned his head and said, "Ancestor toilet music." I've slept. Lu Ting pulled the power cord on his butt. The electric toad jumped to protect her wet robe and growled arrogantly, "Idiot! I'll save you. The steam-stuffed bun pit will also drag you down." A passerby, a freshman, stared at her and trembled his lips. Yuyan's toilet pit is outrageous. Lu Ting's toad loves welfare. And he saves the world with laughter in the black fog examination room? The 5 of them are the best in this trap. Yuyan wiped her face with blue light and steamed her wet robe dry. Her inner game was like a fire burning through the ice. The toilet pit is under pressure. The whole school laughs and panics. The pieces of second-hand honey are sealed, and the blush is tolerated at the expense of welfare. Coordinating Xiaoni, where is Shen Mo in sync? The black mist accelerates the pulse, and the third piece of the petting zoo king's heart is a dead end. Shen Mo's sand pattern voice was gentle in the mist. Borrowing synchronization. The second collection box. In the afternoon of the petting garden, the garden king fox has 3 hearts. The sun is shining brightly at noon in the petting garden. The fox, rabbit, tortoise sells cute bells and sand. The meat and bones are fragrant. The garden king's giant fox with 1,000 tails and red eyes guards the tree hole, and the hidden branches of the black mist are pulsing and the rotten smell is getting stronger. Yuyan's team sneaked in and blue light coordinated. The king of the garden is suppressing. Su Nuanji, Chen Feng, Lu Ting, Shen Mo. The king of the garden roared like a fog hunter. Invasion. The king's heart is swallowed up in pieces. 1,000 tails swept away a heat wave of dust and sand, and the pets ran around and whined harshly. Su Nuan created an innovative feast for the pampered king. With 1 or 2 fragments of honeyjuice blue sand bells tumbling and bursting into the fragrant bone soup. The garden king's nose sniffed, his eyes widened and trembled. Greedy. My heart is itching. Chen Feng's fat handbell composed Fox's Cradle Cantata. The sound of the bells resonated like dream music through the forest, and the soft foxtail shook the ground as it snored. Lu Ting calculated the trajectory of the tail gap with electric arc. I will lock the hole. Pounce in 3 seconds, Yuyan will follow. He pushed the tree hole open, and Yuyan's blue light converged with Shen Mo to sneak in. The golden pages of the fox's heart pulsed and beat like a living beast. She grabbed it and burned the soul. 3 pieces together. The king of the garden overcame the pressure and endured the killing, and the 5 people who were bound by him lost their wits and made a small reversal. All the pets in the school stared round and bounced their heads. Shen Mo came out to protect him, and the Fox King woke up and licked the soup in a cute way. Wang greedy, the fragmented honey is so good. The pet owner of the passerby opened his eyes wide and screamed tremblingly. Lin Yuyan's team's beloved king kneels down. The toilet pit garden rebels against the black mist, and the 5 of them are immortalized as gods. The club is reborn and worshipped, and the legend is rekindled. The 3 fragments gathered into the pot and hourglass phantom, Su Nuan finally, sealed the honey banquet. The golden light of the blue sand bell pulsated like a heart beating again. Chen Feng's bell song assisted the buzzing to purify the demon shadow and dispersed. Lu Ting's power grid protected the pulsation stably. Yuyan's blue light coordinated the introduction, and Shen Mo's sand pattern simultaneously pressed the black mist silk. The sun shines brightly on the campus, the rotten odor dissipates, and the aroma of lavender wine revives. The students' whispers turn to worship and trembling. The black mist suppresses the bomb. 7 hearts are missing. The final cycle is accumulating. Yu Yanlan's divine lineage. Yuyan's heart trembled and she released the slightly refreshing game. Reversal of a small victory. The bottom of the toilet pit garden has been endured. Jibushi's blush is deep, Lu Ting's arrogant eyes are warm. Su Nuan is sweet in her arms, Chen Feng laughs and tears. Shen Mo locks her eyes tenderly. But the hourglass pulses and curses are hidden. And the 7th tail finally bounces up and seals it forever? Chen Feng turns the box and blows wildly. The bells are purified by the pressure of Shen Mo, turning into a lullaby of time and space, jingling and soft. Su Nuan sucks vegetable scraps and soaks random grass in wine. Galu fusion comfort pot. Blue sand bells, thunder and honey juice roll. The aroma is like a nightmare. Sugar rain chokes the soul. Lu Ting arcs weaving a big net. Baozi shook his head. Endure. Genius protects 5 people. Shen Mo's ripples gathered into the hourglass. Reverse current seal. Yuyan's blue light exploded. Borrowing chaos. 5 and 1 blasted out. The hall was filled with blue sand, bells, mist and electric powder, and the vision merged and slowed down with a dreamy fusion. The midnight bell in the hall sounded like thousands of ghosts crying together. The twisted reverberation pierced the eardrums and shattered bloodshot threads. The black mist burst out from the cracks in the hourglass like volcanic pus and blood. The sticky tentacles whipped the air and let out a moist tearing roar. The aroma of lavender wine was instantly swallowed up by the stench of rust and rot and penetrated into the lungs. The 5 people's hearts froze and they fell into the ice cave. The army of illusions awakened. The phantoms of the vegetable army crawled out from the cracks in the door. The giant beast with knives and forks, bells and casseroles rang and ghosts danced. The shadow of the bell expanded into the mouth of a black cave beast, devouring stone pillars and roaring like bone cracks. The walls at the edge of the campus collapsed and cracked, and the night wind mixed with dust and gravel was like thousands of needles piercing the face. Yuyan's pulsating blue light burned her cheeks like lava gnawing at her. Her legs became weak and she knelt down, her heart swallowed by the black abyss of despair. The 7th soul betrayed. The honey banquet of 3 fragments cannot be suppressed. The cycle accelerates for half a day, and the edge of the campus collapses. The end of the whole school. The 5 of us are the laughing stock of cheating, and will be sealed forever. Who rebels? Shen Mo Wanwen's eyes trembled. Lu Ting's arrogance is ruined.
Su Nuan's sweetness cracked.
Chen Feng's ancestral bell dumb. Sacrifice my blue light? If you can't afford it, you will be in chaos forever. The petting zoo for passers-by collapses. The fox, rabbit, tortoise screams and flees. The bells and sand crackle, and the freshman fans turn to fear and shout, trembling and point out. Lin Yuyan is the ultimate disaster. The club toilet pit is in vain. The honey banquet pit is sealed forever. The phantom army swallows up the school's laughingstock and the dropout. Club president Tai Ta roars. The little girl is a swindler. I know the 7th soul. The king's heart is mutinous. The burly giant shadow of the club leader jumped out from the fog. His brooch pulsated with hollows, and his 1,000 eyes were greedy and round like a beast. Spare the cheating king, please spare your life. I am the master of the magic feast. Get out of the night. The phantom fork knife of the vegetable army. As he slashed forward, hot juice and blood mist sprayed and burned his skin. Team Yuyan's broomsticks were tilted and humming intermittently. The 5 people almost fell into the mouth of the black cave beast. The cracks in the pot spread wildly and burned and bit into Su Nuan's palms. She had a pale face and her ponytails fluttered tightly and hugged her tightly. Sister Yuyan, the pot eats the soul, the honey banquet has failed. The phantom army has failed. Vegetable juice, rotten intestines, sweet cosplay turned into a ghost feast? Chen Feng's fat legs kicked the music box and it hummed and twisted like a breathless gasp, and the golden pages of the bell fragments pulsated and rebelled. The ancestral box's grandfather's curse is verified. The 7 souls are missing, and the reincarnation is accelerating in half a day. We will trigger the eternal seal. Lu Ting's Baozi's head was swollen and he was scratching the bleeding threads. He curled his lips arrogantly and shouted arrogantly, "My thunderous step will destroy the army. Baozi is cheating. Ha, phantom dog, get out." The weak crackle of the electric arc backfired and itched buttocks were like thousands of ants biting bones. The broom fell when it touched the mist. He jumped to protect the team, but was struck by a forked knife. The giant beast swept away and hit the wall with a muffled sound. The passers-by burst into laughter and screamed, "Toe genius army bait. Lu Ting's love words will last forever. And the black banquet is the laughingstock of the whole school." Shen Mo's eyes in the shadow of the hood shattered with cold light. His fingers were empty and the sand lines pushed back weakly, and the corrugated web collapsed like paper. Borrow the current and cut it off. The 7th soul of the hourglass rebels, Yu Yanlan enters my wave. I can't hold it back. The black mist hound licked its tail and chased. Its tentacles wrapped around Shen Mo's legs and pulled at the bloody flesh. He locked eyes with Yu Yan tremblingly and whispered, "Hold on." The complete picture of the legend, the piece of the item guard academy, Chi Soul Bond Seal Demon Banquet. The traitor appears. Yu Yan gritted her teeth and gathered the blue light, which burned her heart and merged into ripples, but the blue mist exploded back. She coughed up blood and knelt on the ground. Her robe was torn and her white legs were torn apart, and passers-by snickered and shouted. The 5 people are at a disadvantage and the phantom army is suppressing them and sealing them forever, making the campus a laughing stock. The half-day cycle of reincarnation suddenly started. The phantom of the hourglass reversed like blood roaring against the current. The walls at the edge of the campus melted into black mud and the intestines writhed. The phantom monster army poured into the hall. The vegetable generals, bells, soldiers, pot ghosts, thousands of troops stepped on the stone slabs and cracked the ground. The rotten juice mist choked the nose like sulfur burning the lungs, and the bells distorted and turned into shrill shredding of military trumpets. Yuyan's inner sword game fell to the bottom. Suppressed despair. The whole school was ridiculing him, the leader of the rebellious soul society, guarding King Fox. The honey banquet of fragments bites the hand and rebounds, and the team bond is shattered. Can't bounce, upgrade to blue light? Time freezes to hide your trump card. And you can endure the pressure and accumulate strength to defy the odds. She leaped up and the blue light exploded like a heart resuscitation, summoning the team Shawan. Fight! Su Nuan's range pot attack, Chen Feng's music amplification, Lu Ting and Shen Mo's genius combined attack. I freeze the monster's head. Synchronize with the flow. Su Nuan blinked with a black belly and hugged the pot in pain. The cracks heated up and blood dripped from her palms. Sister Yu Yan's sweet ghost feast counterattack.
Fusion honey banquet upgrade pot explosion.
She grunted and turned the pot. 3 fragments of blue sand bell golden leaf juice rolled violently, exploding the phantom army rotten juice range honey bomb. The honey rain in the heaven of fragrance mixed with the rotten smell like acid rain burning the army. The phantoms of the vegetable soldiers melted and wailed and twisted. The sound of the pot turned into a honey bell jubilation. The passers-by opened their eyes wide and trembled and screamed. Soon Wangguoshan's range king explodes. The rotten army dissolves the honey juice. The black mist chokes and turns to fragrant. The blue disaster team goes against the will. Chen Feng's fat hand bells turned to compose. The music box buzzed and the purified amplified bells were like thunder through the clouds. Ancestral chorus. The bell amplification is fully turned on, and Grandpa laughed and cried to verify it. The resonance of the bells and honey bombs pulsed loudly. The sound wave shattered the bell shadow. The bugle shattered like glass. The phantom vegetable stiffened the fork and knife, and the bell became mute. Fat tears splashed. He laughed and yelled. The cheater has turned into a god. The music fat man controls the field. The student pet owner's eyes widened and his lips trembled, and he turned to worship. Chen Fengling's god increased. The Honey Bell's united army collapsed. The new members of the club worshipped and roared. The 5-person combo will be restored forever. Lu Ting climbed up the bun and scratched the bloodshot, arrogant red face. The arc rekindled the web. Ben Master's combined attack of genius. Shen Mo's wave of lightning. Yuyan. Humph. Baozi will protect you. Shen Mo lifted his hood and locked eyes with his gentle eyes. The sand patterns reversed and merged with Lu Ting's electric arc. The combined attack of the two genius wave and electricity was like a thunderstorm, and the tentacle beast broke and the blood mist evaporated and the heat wave hit his face. Full use of borrowing flow technique. Rebellion pressure pass. Revealed. The hourglass music pot protects peace. The 7 Soul Academy students bind the demon sealing banquet, and the club leader Wang Xian betrays the army. The fork knife beast shattered and scattered stone debris, and passers-by roared and trembled. The two geniuses of Lu Ting and Shen Mo combined to destroy the sky. The army was shattered by the electric sand storm, the arrogant toad and the gentle hooded god, and the commander-in-chief of Lan. She shook the school. Yuyan's blue light burned her extreme pulse, and she trembled in her heart, accumulating energy and bursting out. Press the bottom and laugh to pieces. The fetters of 5 people are explosive, and the upgrade time magic freezes the trump card. The whole school stared and it was so exciting. She holds the blue light hourglass phantom in the air with both hands. The time magic upgrades and the frozen wave explodes like thousands of ice needles. The monster legion's head freezes and is covered with blue frost. The bell ghost movement of the rookie bell ghost solidifies and shatters. The rotten juice frozen block falls to the ground and shatters like a rain of ice crystals. The bell-ringing bugle stops dead silence. The black mist hound licks its tail and the ice sculpture disintegrates and the powder floats and the fragrance of lavender is revived. The president of the club, Tai Tang, knelt down tremblingly. The hollow in his brooch pulsed and betrayed his soul. The king's heart betrayed me. The honey banquet suppressed my soul. It is said that the 7 souls are missing and I will be forever sealed. All the students and pets in the school stared at the passers-by and screamed in confusion. Lin Yuyan's blue light freezing magic skill. Time upgraded military head crushes ice. The welfare of the bottom toilet pit has been endured. The 5 people sacrificed their wits to turn around and it was great. The club president knelt down and rebelled. The phantom army collapsed and the campus was restored. The blue god commander was forever sealed as a legend. The professor's white beard retreated from the fog and trembled. The new blue disaster turns to save the world. The items maintain peace, the 7 soul bonds are intact. The rebels seal the devil's banquet. The heat wave of the aftermath of the battle has dissipated, and the black mud at the edge of the campus has solidified and petrified. The morning sunlight and the cries of birds have pierced the remaining threads of the black fog. The 5 people's sweat-soaked robes are stained with blood. Su Nuan sweetly touches Yuyan's face with her twin ponytails. Sister Yuyan's ghost feast is so exciting. The sweetness of the hand, the friendship is invincible. Chen Feng laughed with fat tears and hugged the music box and played a light song. The ancestral pit turns to the tears of the gods. The grandpa of the 5-person combo is proud, and the bell will seal the honey forever. Lu Ting Baozi tickled the arrogant girl, turned his head and blushed and stuffed a mouthful of honey. Idiot Blura, I will protect you with my combined strength. The ambiguity is deep and the love is electric. Shen Mo's hood gently supported Yuyan's shoulders, and his gentle eyes locked on the sand pattern legend. You will understand and upgrade with the help of Lu Ju. The full picture of the legend. Hourglass. When the academy was founded, the music pot seals the demon banquet. The 7 souls protect the bonds of each generation, and the rebellious soul completes the final ceremony. But the success rate is half. Who sacrifices the soul fusion? Yuyan's blue light residual pulse warmed her face, and her inner emotions were released and the game sublimated. It's so refreshing. The crushing ice army collapsed in despair. The whole school was shocked with admiration, and the ambiguous bonds of friendship were deeply ignited. Lu Ting's arrogant eyes warmed to his heart. Su Nuan's sweet embrace melted. Chen Feng laughed and cried. Shen Mo locked his soul tenderly. The final ceremony was held. The reincarnation stopped for half a day. Who will be sacrificed? endure the pressure and finally go against the will. The hourglass in the hall pulses slowly and the blue light converges. The golden pages of the three-shard honey banquet pot bell resonate like a steady heartbeat. The campus lights are back on, colorful flags flutter. The aroma of meat and wine bubbles are faint, students whisper and worship and tremble together. The Blue God Team's eternal sealing ceremony. The betrayal of the 7 hearts, who melts in sacrifices. Yuyan Lintong? The president of the club kneels down to redeem. The president of the club climbed on the iron tower and knelt down with giant hands to offer the fragments of the king's heart. The king betrayed the greedy honey soul-melting ceremony. Yuyan coordinates the sand pattern team. The final ceremony at midnight. 7 souls gather and the items keep peace. But half the chance, who will sacrifice the soul to be sealed forever? The hearts of the 5 people are beating wildly, and their eyes are intertwined with warm and ambiguous fear. The heartbeats of the 5 people were roaring like drums. The golden light of the morning light in the hall pierced the remaining threads of black mist. The scent of lavender mixed with the aftertaste of rust filled the nose and penetrated the heart. The hourglass pulse was gentle but faintly weeping like a dying animal. The bell ringing half a day's reincarnation was hidden, buzzing, twisted and reverberating, and the eardrums were shattered. The leader of the club, the King's Heart Iron Tower, knelt down and trembled with his huge body. He held up a brooch with his giant hand. The fragments of the king's heart pulsed and rebellious. The red light dimmed. The beads of sweat rolled down like drops of blood and hit the stone slabs. His burly face was twisted and pale as a ghost. Spare your life. The king's heart is greedy for the fragments. The rebel soul leads the phantom army to devour the school. I will complete the eternal sealing ceremony. But at the expense of half the chance, who will be soul-melted? The fool will make fun of me. Whispers gathered around the petting zoo. Fearful of turning to ridicule, foxes, rabbits, tortoises screamed and ran away. Bells and sand crackled. Freshman fans widened their eyes and trembled their lips and pointed. The president of the club knelt down to rebel against the dog. The Blue Peril team reversed the situation. The king's heart fragment was spared and the laughing stock. The whole school yelled, "Who will be forever sealed?" The professor murmured shakily at the edge of the mist. Rebellion of souls to replenish 7 hearts. The ceremony begins. But on the edge of soul fusion, the black mist swallows it again. Yuyan's remaining veins of blue light burned her cheeks like lava gnawing at her. Her legs became weak, and the black abyss of despair in her heart surged again. Continue to suppress despair. The king's heart was shattered and regretful, but he sacrificed his choice on the cliff, and the 5 people were bound to each other. The whole school was ridiculed, who couldn't afford to lose his soul. Lu Ting's arrogant and blushing face warms his heart, Su Nuan's sweetness and embracement, Chen Feng's laughter and tears, Shen Mo's tenderness and soul-locking. Endure the pressure and rehearse to gain strength that is incredible. She gritted her teeth and stood firm. Her blood-stained blue robe was stained with sticky skin, and she was coordinating the sand pattern transmission team. Don't panic. Before the final ceremony at midnight, rehearse the 3-piece fusion set. I poured time sand into Su Nuan's pot, Chen Feng's music box played the melody, and the pieces of the king's heart were pressed into the honey banquet to upgrade. Suppress the little chaos rebel. Club leader, you kneel down and watch. You dare to rebel and get cold again. Wang Xian's iron tower shook like chaff. His huge eyes turned greedy and he knelt down and shouted, "Wang Xian obeys orders. I'm here to help you rehearse." Lu Ting's head was swollen and itchy and bloodshot, and he curled his lips arrogantly and groaned, "Idiot Lan Guangtong handsome? This young master is rehearsing with arc protection, sacrifice? Lei Tuntan is not a fool." Shen Mo's hooded shadow locked eyes with Yuyan, and Shawan nudged. Use the flow technique to synchronize and rehearse to suppress the fog. In the past, my junior brother sacrificed his soul to protect the academy. Don't do it again.
Su Nuan's ponytails flicked.
The black-bellied man blinked and hugged the cracked pot tightly. Sister Yuyan's sweet rehearsal benefits. The pot eats the palms and blood ninjas, and the food in time and space fights back. Chen Feng's fat handbell turned the music box and hummed a soft tune, and the fat man smiled with tears. The rehearsal chorus passed down from the ancestors. Grandpa's laughter and tears verified it, and the 5-person combo honey banquet was promoted. The team moved to the lawn of the petting zoo next to the hall. The morning sun shone with colorful flags and fluttered. The meat-flavored wine bubbles were faintly revived. Passers-by, freshmen professors and pets gathered around to watch, whispering and admiring each other. The blue gods are rehearsing for eternity. The king's heart kneels down to support the laughingstock, whose soul will be broken at the edge of the sacrifice. It rolled violently, the heat wave hit her face. The scent of lavender honey mixed with the rusty and rotten smell stung her nose. Yuyan clasped the air with her hands and poured the thyme sand into the heart of the pot. The sand pattern pulsed like a heart beating wildly, buzzing and cracking the ground. The sand of time melts. Pressing the mist upgrades the honey banquet. Unexpectedly, the cracks in the pot expanded wildly. The heat consumed Su Nuan's palm, and blood dripped from Su Nuan's palm, and time and space exploded randomly. The food phantoms emerge from the mutated vegetable army. The flying bun head swells and spurts out sour juice like thousands of ants gnawing at the bones. The bell sand rabbit ears are twisted. The mutated fox rabbit giant beast has claws and bells ringing. And the ghost cries. The Bikao Zhongying vegetable knife and fork beast swells. The black hole beast swallows the lawn soil and squirms. The rotten juice mist chokes the lungs and burns sulfur. And the cracked gravel on the garden wall is like a needle pricking the face. The mutated vegetable army pounced on Lu Ting. The sour juice from the steamed bun sprayed on Lu Ting's face, itching, and the electric arc hit back and crackled his buttocks. He jumped like a toad and yelled, "The bun trap is back! This young master's genius suppresses chaos. Ha, Blu-ray idiot!" Passers-by burst into laughter and screamed, "Rehearsal chaos is reversed?" The mutant vegetable army engulfs the garden. Wang Xian kneels down to assist, and the blue team's laughingstock collapses again. Wang Xian Iron Tower saw the opportunity and his eyes flashed. He knelt down and secretly clasped the brooch with his giant hand. The red light of the remnant soul pulsated. The rebellious soul muttered to add fuel to the flames. Wang Xinfu is in chaos. The fragments are greedy and will seal me forever. The rampage of the mutated vegetable army intensified, and the giant claws of Lingsha fox and rabbit whipped the air with humidity. Run tearing and roaring, Zhongying's kitchen knife swallowed the stone pillar and shattered the bones with a roar. Su Nuan's face was pale and her ponytail shook the pot and knelt down. "Sister Yuyan, the pot is devouring chaos in time and space, sweet mutated ghost vegetables. The blood in the palm is hot, the honey banquet is invalid." Chen Feng's fat legs kicked wildly, the music box buzzed and twisted, and the breath was gone. The ancestral dumbbell. The mutated sound wave backfired and shattered the fat controller. Shen Mo's sand patterns pushed back and the rippled paper collapsed, and the hooded eyes were cold and soft, trembling. "I can't suppress the borrowing."
One sincerely rebel.
Yuyanlan. The light burns and the heart burns and merges into the pot, but the blue mist bites back. He coughs up blood. His robe is torn and his white legs are flashed. Passers-by snicker and shout. The blue disaster's rehearsal welfare is broken. The small chaos is the bottom, the garden collapses. The 5 people are at a disadvantage and will always be the laughingstock. The inner knife game is at the bottom. The rehearsal is ruined. The king's heart knelt down and secretly rebelled. The mutated vegetable army laughed at the tide, and the bonds endured the pressure. He couldn't afford to bounce back, and the upgraded infused trump cards were hidden and unbelievable. Passers in the audience trembled and pointed at their pets, and freshman fans shouted in fear. The president of the club kneels down to trick the king. The blue team rehearses as bait, and the dropout who was the laughingstock before his death. At the moment of pressing the bottom, Yuyan leaped forward and the blue light exploded. Her heart resuscitated, and she trembled in her heart and gathered strength. Big crushing and shattering. The 5 people are so hot. The time magic upgrade melts the pot of sand and freezes the army. The whole audience stared and it was so exciting. She coordinated the sand pattern and roared, "Fight!" Su Nuan endured the pain and honey shot the range. Chen Feng played the amplification. Lu Ting and Shen Mo combined their geniuses to attack. My blue sand melted the pot to freeze the head. The king's heart was betrayed and crushed. Su Nuan blinked with a black belly, endured the blood palm and turned the pot. 3 times the red soul juice of the fragmented king's heart boils wildly, and the upgraded space-time honey banquet bomb explodes. The fragrant heaven honey rain clip mutates into rancid acid rain and burns the army. The flying bun melts in wails, swells and bursts with juice. The bell sand, rabbit ears, fox beast melts with honey bells, and the ghost cries and laughs. The passerby's eyes widened and he trembled and screamed. Su Nuan Guashan upgraded to the king. Time and space vegetables melt into honey. The black mist chokes and turns fragrant. And the little chaos of the blue peril team is so good. Chen Feng's fat hand bell turned the music box to hum and purify the chorus. The bell music resonated with the honey bullets and pulsed loudly. The sound waves shattered Zhongying. The kitchen knife was as stiff as glass. And the bell was as dumb as glass. There was an explosion, and Fatty burst into tears and roared with laughter. The ancestral bell played to control the field. Grandpa burst into tears of pride. And the 5-person honey banquet turned into a god. The student pet owner's eyes widened and his lips trembled, fearing that he would turn to worship. Chen Feng's music fat god increased. The honey bells unite and the chaos army collapses. The new members of the club worship and roar. Xiaowan combo is permanently sealed as a preview. Lu Ting's blood-streaked buns tickled the arrogant red face, and the arc rekindled the web. My young master is protected by thunder and lightning. Shen Mo borrows the electricity, blue light idiot. Humph, the ambiguous honey benefits are deep. Shen Mo lifted his hood and locked eyes softly. The sand patterns reversely push the electric arc. The two geniuses wave electric sandstorms and the vegetable army. The mutated fox claws break. The juice mist evaporates and the heat wave hits the face. Full borrowing. The king's heart is secretly rebellious. Rehearsing the legend. The bell shadow beast's gravel splashes. Passers-by roared and trembled. The two gods Lu Ting and Shen Mo are destroying the sky. The electric sandstorm is a small mess. The proud toad's gentle hood shocks the school. And Commander Lan's rehearsal is so exciting. Yu Yan's blue light pulsed to the extreme and she pressed her hands into the pot of sand. Time magic upgraded the freezing wave and thousands of ice needles exploded. The heads of the mutated vegetable army were frozen and covered with blue frost. The buns and bell rabbits solidified and shattered. And the frozen pieces of rotten juice fell on the lawn and shattered. Ice crystals rained down and the lavender-scented heaven revived. Wang Xian Iron Tower shadow collapsed on his knees in despair. The broken soul of the brooch was shattered by the red light, and his huge body was limp and regretful, howling like an animal. The king's heart is broken. Greedy me secretly pushed Xiao Luan. The blue frozen head soul devours his life. Regret led the army, knelt and sealed himself as a slave forever. All the fragments will be spared. All the students, passers-by and pets in the audience stared in confusion with trembling screams and worship. Lin Yuyan blue sand melting pot magical skill. Time upgrade freezes the ice into pieces. Wang Xian kneels down and screams in despair. After rehearsing at the bottom, the 5-person combo comes back to great joy. The commander of the blue god is forever sealed as a legend. The leader of the club is worshipped by the rebel dog. The professor's white beard fluttered and he rehearsed to save the world. The 3-piece suit melts the pressure. The king's heart heals the slave. And the ceremony is complete. The heat wave after the rehearsal has dissipated. The lawn is steaming with ice crystal honey and the sun shines brightly. Green sprouts emerge from the fertile soil transformed from mutant vegetable residues. And the team's sweat-soaked robes are sticky with blood and they are laughing together. Su Nuan sweetly hugged Yuyan with her twin ponytails and rubbed her face softly. Miss Yuyan's little chaos to fight back is so cool. Pot time and space upgrade blood-devouring value. Friendship is invincible. Chen Feng hugged the music box in tears and sang softly. The ancestral music was a great success. Grandpa of 5 combos laughed and cried. Bell honey will be sealed forever. God of preview. Lu Ting tickled the arrogant bun, turned around and took a bite of the honey. The electric arc touched Yu Yan's hand, making it numb. Idiot, the blue light melting pot is handsome. I will protect you with my combined attack. The passion is electric, and the bun is biting ambiguously. His inner monologue was, the Tsundra pit is getting warmer. The blue light freezes the head and eyes and burns the heart. The idiot commander is deeply in love. Sacrifice? Thunder genius protects Yong. Yu Yan's blue pulse warmed and she blushed. Her heart released. Rehearsal is so exciting. The king's heart was shattered in despair. The whole audience was shocked with admiration. Lu Ting's blushing face was itching. and the ambiguous honey was electric. Shen Mo gently supported the crowd with his hood, and shared with gentle eyes. In the past, when my junior brother rehearsed, the gentle soul melted into the hourglass and guarded the academy, and the bond with you was like a heartbeat lock. With the flow of the secret, the ceremony endured the pressure. The warmth of the crowd was intertwined, and passers-by kept whispering in admiration. Switching to service picnic benefits, Su Nuan Guagulu upgraded honey banquet dishes are bursting. Time and space buns are golden and fragrant but not swollen, rabbit ears and rabbit legs in honey sauce are soft and waxy and crispy, and lavender wine soaked with Zhongying's kitchen knife is bubbling crystal clear. Everyone sat cross-legged on the lawn, the sun warmed their skin, the aroma of meat and wine filled their nostrils, and Yuyan bit into the honey bun and complained in her heart. The picnic benefits are great. Lu Ting arrogantly stuffed his buns into his eyes and peeked. His red face was tickled and it was so cute. Lu Ting pinched the rabbit's legs and snorted arrogantly. I am a genius at tasting. Su hot pot is a blessing. Idiot Lon will share it with you. Su Nuan winked and teased him. Toad Senior, the buns are itchy? Honey Rabbit's electric but relieves the itching. And he laughs deeply. Chen Feng's fat chewing bell wine soaked in jingle bells and burst into tears. Ancestors Picnic Party Chorus. Grandpa is proud. The friendship between 5 people explodes. Shen Mo gently sipped wine and shared junior brother's story. During the chaos in rehearsal, his smile melted into the soul, and the academy was peaceful. Your bond has a chance of winning. Lu Ting blushed and glared at Shen Mo. The hood is gentle and deceives the love rival? This young master Lei Hulan Yuyan smiled and felt warm in her heart. The ambiguous interaction is deep. Lu Ting's eyes flutter with emotion. Shen Mo's gentleness locks his soul. Their friendship is invincible. Sacrifice forbearance. Passers-by watched and worshipped and whispered. The blue team has a picnic with God's welfare. The king's heart is on his knees and his eyes are hungry. The king's heart is broken and he is a slave. And the eternal seal preview is worshipping and roaring. The hourglass suddenly woke up at midnight. The blue light exploded like blood vessels were broken, and the curse roar echoed across the campus. 6 hearts united. The 7th soul rebelled. The devil's banquet, the illusion army Su, swallowed the school forever. Black mist burst into the cracks of the hall door. The phantom bell of the vegetable army rang, and the casserole pot rang. The ghosts danced. The graduation bell rang like a cry. The cracks in the pot expanded wildly, burning hands, and the 5 people's heartbeats froze. A new crisis the illusion army swallowed. The midnight bell rang like thousands of hammers hitting the heart, and the distorted hum echoed over the campus. The remaining warmth of the sun on the lawn of the petting zoo suddenly turned into a cold black mist. Black mud squirmed out of the cracks in the ground and licked the green buds. The scent of lavender honey was instantly swallowed up by the rotten sulfur, and went straight into the heart. The hourglass phantom pulsates blood red in the center of the towering hall. Half-day reincarnation bursts out. The shadow of the hound licks its tail and the ghosts cry. The remnants of Zhong Yingcai's army reappear. The bells ring and bugles pierce. The passers-by and students run away screaming at the petting zoo. The bells and sand crackle. The new fans widen their eyes and tremble and point out. The rehearsal of Blue God is so good the wave breaks. The cycle finally opens at midnight, and the Black Mist Hunter army engulfs the school. King Xingchen kneels down and spares his life as the laughing stock. Who among the 7 souls will be sacrificed? The professor's white beard fluttered in the fog and he roared. The dinner nodes are all exploded. The 3-piece suit cannot be suppressed, and there is a big brawl before the ceremony. The blue team is at a disadvantage and is shaking the campus ghosts. Yuyan stood up with blood stains on her blue robe and her skin was hot and sticky. Her blue veins burned her cheeks like lava gnawing at her. Her legs were weak and the black abyss of despair surged in her heart again. The warmth of the picnic turns to the bottom. The bell rings at the dinner party and the hunting army returns. The black mist swallows everything with sobs, and the bond between the 5 of them breaks apart. The whole school laughs. Lu Ting's blushing face is ambiguous and itchy. Su Nuan's sweet palms and blood endure. Who can't afford to lose their soul? The remaining power of the rehearsal is incredible. She gritted her teeth and coordinated the sand pattern transmission team and yelled, "Separately seal the nodes." The 3-piece set at the dinner party is fully engaged in a big brawl. I am fighting against the Hourglass Phantom Center. Su Nuan is suppressing the gluttonous beast on the east wing. Chen Feng's music is on the west wing of the cursed sound wave. And the two geniuses of Lu Ting and Shen Mo are covering the north and south. Wang Xian kneels down to escort the slave fragments, and gradually builds the climax of the ceremony, suppressing Shao chaos and upgrading the reverse. Wang Xintia, the huge body of the tower, was crawling on its knees and trembling. The giant hand held the red soul fragment of the king's heart. The pulse was dim. The beads of sweat and blood rolled down and hit the stone slab. The burly face was twisted and regretful, pale, and whispered, "The king's slave escort. Greedy honey, spare your life. The dinner party will be ruined." The passers-by roared with laughter. Commander Lan split the trap? Node hunting army devoured. The king's heart knelt down as a dog to escort the laughingstock. Dropped out of school in chaos before sacrifice. The team scattered with lightning. The lights of the dinner party in the hall were swaying. The flesh-flavored wine was soaking, and the phantom was distorted. The minions of the black fog hounds rang and the bells were ringing, and the ghosts were crying. Yuyan's remaining blue light pulse went straight to the center of the hourglass phantom. Unexpectedly, her reckless steps tripped the fragments of the king's heart, and the soul juice splashing robe exploded and a small space-time vortex sucked the hem of her skirt. The white legs flashed and passers-by snickered. Commander Blue Trouble tripped the kneeling dog. The phantom hourglass pulsated and swallowed the skirt, the first laughing stock of the dinner party. Inwardly he complained, "The pit is opening." The king's heart was broken, the escort turned into chaos, and his despair continued. Lansha upgraded to a frozen head. The bloodline of the hourglass phantom monster roared against the current, and the sand waves rolled up like thousands of ants chewing bones, choking the nose, rust, and putrid smell in the face. Her extreme blue light merged into the time sand and the freezing wave exploded, and the ice needles pierced the sand waves and the frozen blue frost-covered body. The phantom sobbed and wailed, and the pulse was gentle, but it backfired with the blue mist, burning the heart and coughing up blood. Wang Xian knelt beside him, his huge eyes flashed with fear and secretly pushed the red soul. Wang Nufu. He swallowed the blue indiscriminately. The passerby, the freshman, widened his eyes and trembled with his lips, shouting in fear. Yu Yanlan's frozen sand phantom pressure. He accidentally stumbled into a trap and turned against the enemy. Wang Xian knelt down and secretly pushed the laughingstock. Lan Shen Commander's banquet was at a disadvantage. Dongi Su Nuan's twin ponytails flicked wildly. Her belly was black and she hugged the cracked pot, and she upgraded her time and space honey banquet bombs to prepare for the gluttonous beast. The pot was hot and biting her palms, dripping blood and choking her nose. The blood in the palm devours the ninja. The gluttonous beast explodes in the pot. The dark side turns into a honey shower. The gluttonous beast erupted from the bottom of the pot and swallowed the phantom of ingredients with its huge mouth. The flying buns, bells, rabbits, bells, shadows, vegetables, and rotten juices. The beast's teeth rang, the bells rang, the ghosts cried, and the sour juice sprayed on the face like thousands of ants eating bones. The pot cracked wildly, the heat wave burned, the air was moist and torn. Su Nuan Galu violently spins 3 fragments. The red soul juice of the king's heart rolls violently. The time and space honey banquet bombs are fully activated. The fragrant heaven honey rain mixes with the rancid acid rain and burns the beasts. The gluttonous mouth melts and the wailing juice explodes. The passers-by and pets watch and scream and worship. Sun Wangwa God Town Gluttony. Honey bombs dissolve black mud within the range. Palm-blooded ninja and black-bellied cosplayer are super cute. Dong Wing reversed the blue team Nuan. Wang Xian knelt and crawled eastward, secretly pushing the red soul to help the beast. Gluttious honey chaos. Sun Nuan blinked and shot Wang Xian's huge leg in the side, making him jump to the ground and kneel down. Wang Nu is greedy and eats his own life. Passers-by in the east wing laughed and worshipped. Sun Nuan sweetly cheats the kneeling dog. Gluttony turns to honey benefits. The dinner party is full of laughter. In the west wing, Chen Feng's fat legs kicked around and the music box hummed soft tunes. The bells turned to the ancestral cantata in preparation for the curse sound wave. The fat man burst into tears and smiled proudly in his inner monologue. The 5 of us split up to experience it. Ling purifies the field and controls the field, and the curse sound backfires and controls Fatty to pieces. The ancestral music plays against the heavens. The curse sound waves exploded from the music box. The distorted bells and the trumpets were like broken glass. The buzzing of the brain was deafening. The black fog sound beast, the bell, the sand, the fox and the rabbit's giant claws whipped the air. The ghosts cried and the wolves howled, and the fat hand bells broke the breath and backfired, causing chest tightness and coughing up blood. Chen Feng's fat tears splashed. The bells turned and violently played the purifying chorus. The bells resonated with the honey banquet. The sound waves shook the sound beast, and the bells and dumbbells exploded. The ancestral bells played to suppress the curse. Passers-by and students widened their eyes and trembled and screamed. Chen Feng's fat god of music duel. The bells chorus controlled the field and broke the sound waves. The bells and honey in the west wing collapsed together. And the ancestral laughter film was bare. Wang Xine moved to the west and knelt down with his giant hand to clasp the red soul pusher beast. Wang Fu is greedy. Chen Fengling swept Wang Xine from the side and soaked the phantom in wine. His huge body jumped to his knees. The fat bell is cheating the king's slave. West Wing's new fans were afraid to worship him. Chen Feng's ancestral trick is to kneel down the dog. Curse ring bell welfare. The banquet is hilarious. The two geniuses of Lu Ting and Shen Mo used lightning shuttles to cover the north and south, and the black foghound licked its tail and pounced on the arc sand pattern storm to prepare for the battle. Lu Ting Baozi's head was swollen and itchy, his bloodshot and arrogant red face fluttering in his heart. Separate parts to protect the blue fool. The arc-weaving net strikes together. Shen Mo's hooded love rival hums. The honey of love is protected forever by electricity. Shen Mo's hooded shadow locked eyes softly in the direction of Yuyan. Shawan nudged to borrow the trick. Both geniuses are fully open to cover, gathering at the dinner party. The hound's black mud minions rang and pounced on Lu Ting's ass. The electricity backfired and crackled. He was a toad jumping and shouting. The hound is tickled. This young master's thunder genius is suppressing. Humph, the blue light commander is ambiguously protecting. The arc-weaving net Shenmasha used the electric sandstorm to roll up the hound, and the claws were broken, the juice mist evaporated, and the heat wave hit his face and the ghost cried and turned into joy. Wang Xinan crawled on his knees and secretly pushed the red soul. The greedy beast is in chaos. Lu Ting's electric arc and Shen Mo's sandstorm hit Wang Xian's giant body and itched and numbed him. He collapsed on his knees and cried. The two gods have pitted the king's slave to death. Please forgive me. Passers-by's pets from the north and south worshipped with eyes wide open and trembling. Lu Ting's Shen Mo's electric sand destroys the sky. The arrogant toad's gentle hood protects the god. The hound crushes the dinner to the north and south. And the blue team's two genius love rivals laugh happily. At the moment when the node was in chaos, the blue mist of Yuyan's hourglass phantom center backfired and coughed up blood, and her robe was torn apart, and the desperate game in her heart fell to the bottom. Split up and rashly trap. Wang Xine knelt down and secretly rebelled, and the whole school laughed at him and broke the bond. He endured the pressure and upgraded the three-piece suit to assemble against the sky. She coordinated the whole team of sand pattern roar. Assemble! The three-piece set is fully activated for a big brawl upgrade. The honey banquet bell sand melts the king's heart, and the red soul suppresses the black fog. Su Nuan's east wing honey bomb range roared and flew in. Chen Feng's west wing bell song increased the chorus and buzzed and resonated. Lu Ting and Shen Mo's north and south electric sandstorm escort came in. Yuyan's hands were empty, blue light exploded, heart recovery time magic upgraded, frozen wave, thousands of ice needles blasted, hourglass phantom, head frozen and shattered. The three-piece set of the king's heart and red soul is fully activated. And the eternal honey banquet pressure fog upgrade is activated. The hot pot, sand bell and red juice are boiling. The heat wave is raging. The lavender heaven incense clip is steaming. And the rusty residue is steaming. The black fog hunting army is annihilated by the gluttonous sound waves. The entire army is melted, the wailing juice, the mist, the ice crystal rain is drifting, and the lights of the hall dinner are revived, and the meat-flavored wine bubbles are sparkling and bubbling. All the passers-by, students, professors, pets stared with their eyes wide open, trembling and screamed in admiration. Blue God Yuyan Commander's three-piece set is fully activated. The split node reverses the chaos. The king's heart-kneeling slave is secretly pitted and regretted. The 5-person combo honey bell sand freezes the phantom ice to pieces. And the bottom bounce of the dinner is super exciting. Su Nuan Gua honey rain range god. Chen Feng's ancestral bell played to control the field of fat tears. Lu Ting and Shen Mo's double genius cover destroys the sky. The blue team's charm pit, the iron tower of the king's heart, is invincible, and the whole school worships the eternal legend. The iron tower of the king's heart collapsed and howled like an animal, and all the red souls of the brooch were smashed to pieces. The king's slave is greedy for all the help. I regretted the chaos at the dinner, and the fragments are all slaves. The professor's white beard fluttered and he saluted with trembling lips. The three-piece suit merges the 7 souls, the king's heart is completed, and the climax of the ceremony begins. But if one person is sacrificed, whose soul will be sealed forever? The team was wet with sweat and gathered in the center of the hall. The sticky blood in the blue robe was pulsing and warm. Su Nuan sweetly threw her arms at Yuyan and rubbed her twin ponytails against her face. Sister Yuyan split up to fight back and kill Mi Shuang. The pot devours the blood tolerance, and the friendship is invincible. Laughing and crying. The 5-person combo dinner turned out to be amazing, and the gathering was a blast. Lu Ting Baozi tickled the Tsundra's red face and touched Yuyan's hand with an ambiguous numbness. Idiot, the blue light is so handsome. I'm protecting you, the love is so deep. The inner monologue is warm. The Tsundra split up and becomes in love. Commander Lan's charm burns his heart. The fool's frozen head protects him forever, and he sacrifices Lei Tunton to carry it. Shen Mo's hood gently held the crowd and glanced gently. The flow is all synchronized, and the souls of junior brothers are as fused as yours. The heartbeat is locked, and the ceremony endures the pressure. Yuyan's blue veins are warm and her face is red, and her heart is filled with excitement. The dinner party is so exciting. The king's heart was shattered on his knees in despair. The whole audience was shocked with admiration. Lu Ting's blushing face was ambiguous and itchy. Shen Mo was gentle and warm. 7 souls were sacrificed and the decision was hanging in the balance, and the climax of the gathering was heaven-defying. The heat wave after the dinner party has dissipated. The lawn is filled with the fragrance of ice crystal honey. The lights are shining. The mutated residues have become fertile soil. Green sprouts are sprouting and colorful flags are flying. Passers-by are worshipping and whispering. The blue team's dinner is a blessing. The king's heart is kneeling next to the hungry-eyed slave. And the preview for Eternal Seal is worship and roar. The pulse of the hourglass finally eased the cry. The chiming of the bell was twisted and hidden in the black mist, and the ghost's cry disappeared. The 3 pieces of the ancient rune suit plus the king's heart all shone with golden light, and the altar of the eternal sealing ceremony slowly rose and the countercurrent of blood vibrated. Everyone sat cross-legged and the lights warmed their skin, while Su Nuan Guagulu's upgraded honey banquet dishes exploded. Rabbit legs in time and space were crispy and not rotten, and Zhongying wine was soaked in incense and bubbled golden. Yuyan bit the rabbit's leg and complained in her heart. It's great to gather welfare. Lu Ting's arrogant glance at the red-faced cuteness. Shen Mo's gentle sharing of deep. Who should be sacrificed? Lu Ting soaked the wine and arrogantly hummed. This young master is a genius. Idiot Blue is sharing the ambiguous honey. Su Nuan blinked. Toad buns and electric rabbits relieve the itch, and the hood of his love rival smiles. Chen Feng chewed bells and tinkled wine with tears of laughter. Ancestor dinner chorus. Master, the 5 of you are so proud of me. Shen Mo sipped his wine and whispered. The ceremony has begun, the 7 souls merge and one person keeps the peace. Your bond is half the chance of defeating the junior brother. Lu Ting blushed and glared. The hood is deeply in love?
Lei protect Lan Zhong.
Yuyan laughed, and the suspense in her heart exploded. The ambiguous interaction is warm. Friendship is invincible. Was the ceremony successful? Who is dead? The midnight clock is approaching, the hourglass phantom is turning upside down and the blood flow is roaring. The black mud on the edge of the campus is squirming and weeping. The ghosts are weeping in the cracks of the black mist door, and the lavender scent is choking the nose with a rotten rhyme. Yuyan stood up and pulsated with blue light. The rehearsal was great. The last day is full circle. The final dinner ceremony. The 7 souls all sacrificed their choices. Can everything be solved? The hearts of the 5 people were beating wildly, and their eyes were filled with fear, and the king's heart was kneeling and shivering. Whose soul is sealed forever? The golden light of the altar exploded like a molten gold sun in the hall. The countercurrent of blood flowed and buzzed through the bone marrow. The hourglass pulsed and sobbed mixed with the ringing of bells and the piercing echo of the remaining military trumpets. The afterimage of black mist threads licked the tail and the ghost cry came out from the crack of the door. The rotten sulfur mixed with the scent of lavender honey hit the nose and face. The lights swayed, the flesh-flavored wine. Bubbles phantom distorted and elongated the shadows. The huge body of the king's heart tower knelt and crawled to the altar. Beads of sweat and blood rolled down and banged against the stone slabs. His burly face was twisted and pale with despair. His giant hand held the red soul fragment, pulsing dimly and trembling, and shouted, "All the slaves of the king! Greedy honey, spare your life. The 7 souls are melted and sealed forever." The whole audience, the pets of passers-by, students and professors stared, trembling, screaming and shouting in confusion. The climax of the ceremony begins at midnight. The afterimage of the black mist licks the tail. The king's heart is broken, and the soul of the dog is shattered. Sacrifice one person's soul and half the chance of killing the campus ghost? The 5-person bond of the blue team collapses the game. Yuyan's blue robe is stained with blood, her skin is hot and sticky, and she is sitting cross-legged in the middle of the altar. Her blue veins are burning her cheeks like lava gnawing at her. Her legs are weak, and her heart is filled with despair, and the black abyss is surging again. It's great to gather benefits and turn to the bottom. The king's heart is on his knees and all the slaves are worshipped by the 7 souls. The black fog bell rings and the suspense is high. Who will be sacrificed and his soul will be sealed forever? The whole school laughs at everything. Su Nuan is sweet and affectionate. Lu Ting is red-faced and flirtatious. Shen Mo is gentle and has deep locks in his eyes. Chen Feng is fat and laughs at the ancestral legacy. Endurance is broken, and the bond is unstoppable. She gritted her teeth and coordinated the entire team of sand patterns. Her voice was trembling but she shouted firmly. The ceremony begins. The 7-soul fusion 3-piece set of King Heart red juice is fully opened. The honey banquet bell sand is frozen and the black mist is sealed forever. I will bear whoever sacrifices, and the new blue disaster will never retreat.
Su Nuan fulutteret her ponytail sviltli.
The black man holding the pot grunted. The cracks in his palms were hot and bleeding, and he endured the pain. His little face was pale and sweet, and his inner monologue was trembling. Sister Yuyan is in command of Nuan. The pot honey is all melted into the soul, and the black belly turns to friendship and is invincible. Sacrifice Nuan to carry half. Chen Feng kicked his fat legs around and hugged the music box and the bell turned soft. The song buzzed and Fatty's tears flew down as he proudly monologued. The ancestral bell plays Grandpa's experience. 5 people's combo souls melt and control the field, and Fatty's unbreakable laughter makes her cry. Lu Ting's buns had a swollen and itchy bloodshot head, and his proud red face flashed with electric arcs, and his heart fluttered and warmed. Idiot carrying blue light sacrifice? My young master, Lei Tiankai, is deeply in love. Don't grab the hooded rival. Shen Mo's hooded shadow locked eyes with Yuyan, and Shawan nudged her and whispered. The bond is better than junior brothers. Half the chance is that we will go all in. Heartbeat lock, endure. The altar of golden light pulses like a beating heart, the hourglass music box, the pot, the king's heart, and the red souls all buzz and explode. The fragments of the 7 souls, the golden page, the toilet pit, the fox heart brooch, all melted red juice, the heat wave, the lavender heaven incense clip, the iron rust and putrid steam, the bells ringing, the military trumpet distorts, high-pitched and stabs the brain, the afterimage of the black mist. The gluttonous sound waves rekindle. Attack the altar, the bells ring, the minions cry and wolf howl. The sulfur mist swallows the lamp, the flesh fragrant, the sour juice splashes and chokes the lungs. A passerby by the petting zoo, a freshman professor, screamed and ran away with eyes wide open and shouted. The ceremony opened black mist to counterattack. The 7 souls melted and couldn't suppress the hunter army to swallow the sacrifice. The king's heart fell to his knees and the souls of the slaves were broken and the laughing stock continued. The 5 members of the blue team collapsed and dropped out of school, and their dreams were forever shattered. Yuyan's blue light limit merged into the center of the hourglass. Thousands of ice needles burst into the time-freezing wave, but it backfired to rip her robes, cough up blood, and the blue mist burned her heart. She fell into despair in her heart. Push the bottom to open the pit. The bell in the black mist is ringing again. and the rash commander turns the whole school into a mockery. The bond is broken? Su Nuan cracked wildly and expanded the scope of the honey banquet bomb, roaring and melting the black mud. But the heat swallowed the blood on both palms. Chen Fengling's chorus shattered the sound beast and counterattacked the fat chest and coughed. Lu Ting's electric arc and Shen Mo's storm escort attacked the hound's claws and cut off the juice mist. But the electric sand numbed his body and roared. Wang Xi knelt down and his giant eyes turned to fear and howled in despair. Slave soul melt. Swallowing. At the moment of the crisis, the golden light of the altar pulsed dimly, and the huge mouth of black mist opened to swallow the 5 figures. The passers-by all worshipped in despair and started to cry in fear. The ceremony of Commander Blue God collapsed. The hunting army of black mist swallowed the school. The bonds of the 5 people broke the king's heart, knelt down and sealed the failed ghost forever. Yuyan's heart, the game of black abyss, was on the verge of collapse. The blue veins burned off the robes and shredded the white legs, making passers-by snicker. But suddenly I heard Su Nuan's sweet trembling voice. Sister Yuan, friendship is invincible. The 2 ponytails turned the pot violently and the red soul juice melted. And the spacetime honey banquet bomb upgraded to heaven's fragrant rain range exploded and melted the edge of the black mist fate. Chen Feng's fat tear bell turns to the ancestral cantata and resonates with the honey veins. The bells and honey are integrated into one. Grandpa is proud. The purified sound waves control the curse and the bell turns to the cheerful tune. Lu Ting is arrogant and red-faced, and the arc weaves the net. This young master will protect the fool forever. Shen Mo borrows the electric sandstorm beast. Shen Mo whispered, borrowing synchronization. All bonds are open. The king's heart iron tower collapsed and the soul was shattered and roared. Nu Chuanfu. Greedy for mercy. Yuyan gritted her teeth. The blue light revived her heart and exploded. The ultimate upgrade of time magic, frozen waves, ice rivers, thousands of needles pierced the black mist. The giant mouth cracked, stiffened and shattered. The bond of 5 people is like a starburst golden light grand altar. The honey bell sand is frozen and melted by the king's heart. The 7 souls' eternal sealing curses are all buzzing to the sky. The pot hourglass music box is pulsing and the golden talisman is shining. The black fog hunting army gluttony sound wave bell shadow is annihilated and the entire army is melting and wailing juice mist ice crystal rain is drifting away. The rotten sulfur turns to lavender honey fragrance heaven is steaming. The bells are distorted and stopped. The military trumpet turns into jingle bells. The hall is brightly lit, and the meat-flavored wine bubbles are crystal clear and bubbling. Passers-by, students, professors, pets stared with eyes wide open, trembling, screaming and worshipping, roaring loudly. The commander-in-chief of Blue God Yuyan has a bond that defies heaven. The bottom of the ceremony is super cool and explosive. The 5-person combo of honey bell sand freezes and melts 7 souls. The king's heart-kneeling slaves are smashed and destroyed. And the regret roars. The black mist seals the campus to the god of peace forever. Su Nuan honey rain range dissolves the beast with a black belly. Chen Feng, the ancestral bells play fat tears to control the field. The 2 geniuses of Lu Ting and Shen Mo escort the arrogant and gentle lover. And the blue team is invincible. The whole school worships the legend forever. Freshman fans jumped up and waved blue flags to worship. Yuyan is the newborn blue disaster to save the world. The chance of defeating the commander-in-chief is rash. The ambiguous bonds of friendship win. The Academy's time and space banquet demon seal roars. The team's sweat gathered together and the remaining golden light of the altar soothed the skin. The blue robe's sticky blood pulsed and warmed and softened. Su Nuan sweetly caressed Yanhuai's twin ponytails and rubbed her face to soften the welfare. The blood on her palm turned to honey and healed with pain. Sister Yuyan's ceremony is so sweet and invincible. The pot is worth it. The friendship is deeply upgraded. The heart of the king with a black belly is broken and he bursts into laughter. Chen Feng hugged the music box and turned to the soft song and burst into tears. And Fatty chewed the rabbit leg bell wine. Ding dang. The ancestral bell honey is fully opened. Grandpa laughs and cries to verify it. The 5-person combo will be forever fat and happy. Lu Ting Baozi tickled the arrogant red face and touched Yuyan's hand with ambiguous anesthesia. Idiot, the blue light frozen river is so handsome. This young master's genius escorts the sacrifice. The electric honey flutters forever. The inner monologue warms the heart. The tsundere splits up and becomes deeply in love. Commander Lan's charm is so charming that his eyes are hot for fools, Lei who never retreats, and his bond is legendary for his junior brother. Shen Mo's hood gently held everyone's hand and glanced at Yuyan, locking it in. The connection between the two is as harmonious as yours, and the soul of junior brother peace in the academy rests in peace. He whispered and shared. The legend of the banquet of time and space is over, and the seven-soul seal will win without sacrifice. Yuyan's blue veins warmed her face, and her face was filled with excitement and excitement. The king's heart fell to his knees in despair. The whole audience was in admiration. Su Nuan fluttered warmly, Lu Ting's blushing face was ambiguous and itchy, Shen Mo was tender and deeply locked, Chen Feng's fat smile was passed down from generation to generation. The reckless new student grew into a commander, the friendship was ambiguous and invincible, and the cycle of campus peace lasted forever. She laughed and coordinated the blue light swipe at the crowd. Blue team combo god. King Xingchen is kneeling next to the hungry-eyed slave. Forever sealed with welfare rabbit legs and bell wine points new crisis? Humph, the pit continues to open. The king's heart iron tower collapsed beside the altar, howling in despair like an animal. The red soul of the brooch was completely shattered and turned into golden ash. The giant body shrank and the burly face was pale. He knelt and murmured, "The king's slave is greedy for Quan Fu. I will forever be spared." The president of the club is a laughingstock and kneels in school. Passers-by burst into laughter and whispered in admiration. The king's heart is on his knees and the dog is legendary. The blue team cheated and roared with regret, and the slaves forever laughed. The professor's white beard fluttered and he bowed with trembling lips in worship. The new blue calamity bond saves the world. 3-piece set of 7 souls. Victory without sacrifice. The legend of the time and space banquet Demon Seal Academy continues. The hourglass music box and the pot are returned to the warehouse, and the cycle will end forever. The golden light of the ancient rune suit gradually faded away, the hourglass pulse stopped, the music box bell quieted, the pot galoo subsided. The remnant soul of the king's heart was sealed into the altar and buzzed and disappeared. The green buds of ice crystal honey steamed up on the lawn of the hall and the colorful flags fluttered. The broomstick pet bell rabbit fox heart revived and the golden sun shone on the campus after the midnight bell. Everyone sat cross-legged under the lights to warm their skin and enjoy the benefits of the honey banquet. Su Nuan upgraded the rabbit legs to be crispy and not rotten. Zhongying wine was soaked in fragrant golden color. Yuyan took a bite and the juice was honey sweet. She complained in her heart. Growing up is so exciting. Lu Ting's arrogant glances at his red face are cute and itchy. Shen Mo's gentle sharing of wine makes his eyes burn. Su Nuan's belly is dark and he laughs like a toad. Chen Feng is fat and chews jingle bells. A new chapter for the reckless commander. And the ambiguity of campus peace continues. Lu Ting soaked the wine and arrogantly hummed. "This young master is a genius, try it first." "Huh, blue idiot's ambiguous honey." The arc of light tingled on his lips and Su Nuan blinked. The toad buns and the electric rabbit relieve the itch. The hooded rival stares at Nuan and smiles. The pit of invincible friendship turns deeper. Chen Feng fat tears bell wine chorus. The ancestral dinner will always be a benefit. Grandpa is proud of the 5 honey bells. And the legend of the campus brawl continues. Shen Mo sipped the wine and raised his hood with a gentle smile. Leverage the trick and remember it forever. The heart is locked. The freshmen are bold and charming. Next club party. Passers-by all over the school, freshmen professors and pets gathered around the altar to worship and whisper. The myth of the blue team. Commander Yuyan, Su Hot Pot God, Chen Feng Ling God, Lu Ting Electric God, Shen Masha God. The 5 of them are bound to be invincible and forever seal the time and space banquet demon. And the campus cycle there is peace and joy. And the king's heart is on his knees and his eyes are broken and his handle is roaring. The remaining warmth of the sun fills the lawn with the fragrance of lavender and honey. The mutated fertile soil is blooming and colorful butterflies are flying. And the broomstick is flying in the sky and the bell is ringing in the petting zoo where rabbits and foxes are chasing joy. Yuyan stood up, fluttering her blue robe, her blue veins warm and blushing, sweeping away the crowd's inner hook. He was recklessly reborn and turned into the commander-in-chief of salvation. The ambiguity of friendship is infinitely deep. The hidden legend of the college is revealed. The next unexpected pitfall? The madness of the magic school continues, the hourglass flips, the music sounds, the pot stirs, and the chaos never ends. She winked mischievously and yelled, "Let's go for the blue team." A new day of campus welfare is on, and the club exam pet party is ridiculous. The crowd followed up with laughter, Lu Ting's arrogant red face hummed and chased. Shen Mo followed gently. Su Nuan sweetly held his arm, Chen Feng's fat bell jingled. Wang Xian knelt down and stared with hungry eyes in the distance. The whole school was worshipping and rejoicing, and a new suspense was faintly pulsing deep in the ancient library. Another hourglass phantom was sobbing and flickering, foreshadowing the chaos that would follow. The golden light of the altar flourished, the hourglass music box, the pot, and the fragments of the king's heart all pulsated and beat wildly. The bell rang and finally the bugle returned in a low voice. The aftertaste of the black mist loomed, and the heartbeats of the 5 people were beating wildly. Their eyes were warm and fearful, and the king's heart trembled. Will the sacrifice succeed? The golden sun of dawn filled the starry magic academy. Jingles played across the sky on broomsticks. The honey-scented rabbit legs party was held in the petting zoo, and passers-by new students waved blue flags and worshipped. Blue god Yuyan is legendary. Ambiguous friendship brings peace to the campus, and the crazy time and space banquet continues. Yuyan's heart was filled with joy and emotion. Blue light flashed lightly. Her cheeks were slightly red, and she embarked on a new adventure. Friendships are invincible and ambiguous, and the magic campus will never be peaceful.